I mean, we got noise-canceling headphones on, but I can still hear that.
Yeah, everybody at home could hear that. Here we go. Stitch and Ding will hover the Wrecking Ball to start the map as we see Winston compositions, but as expected, the Wrecking Ball fades away on the side of RunAway. They will run instead the Reinhardt, Zarya, and the D.Va, whereas on the other side for KongDoo Panthera, we will see the Tracer, Pharah, Ding of course flexing Youngjin on his Brigitte. Moira going to give extra sustain here to RunAway's composition. They should be able to, if they get onto the point, build up a more ult-efficient economy here, but it's all about avoiding that Pharah.
Well, right now, just going to be scouting out. They're looking with a third-person view here, shield up for Hoxall. Just trying to spot. They obviously know there's a Pharah. They see the rockets coming down, but now they're going to get a glimpse of the Winston. Or of the Reinhardt, sorry. And that swap coming through. Right now, Janu, defense matrix up. He's trying to deny any of those rockets as the dive comes in. They're looking for Youngjin, and they're going to find him. Bumper getting the first kill of the grand final. RunAway in onto the point, just looking for a few cleanups. Bumper going to be traded out. Roar now going to go down and exchange on the Reinhardts comes through. Janu going to stay alive from that armor back out from Hoxall. RunAway have the cap. Rez comes down onto Roar. KongDoo Panthera, do they still want to push forward? It looks like the answer is going to be yes as they start inching their way in. Charge comes down, not going to find a pin. Bubble comes up, shield bash in. Get the stun onto Roar, but they can't finish him off. Charge into the skies. Ding falling low, but not going to go down. He's so close to that barrage to come through. Graviton Surge going to be out, locking them all in. It's just going to be a clean sweep here, basically, for KongDoo Panthera as they get the team wipe onto RunAway and get the flip.
RunAway took some bad engagements there, which allowed Decay to build the faster grab. Look at Stitch, he's only at 81%, and that's with more sustained healing. KongDoo Panthera was able to build it first with Luffy on Zenyatta. Twilight was there with the extra sustained healing with the Moira pick, and yet still, KongDoo Panthera got that extra charge because RunAway stuck around too long. They have a massive ult advantage now and control of the point. RunAway only builds 26%, so it feels very KongDoo favored at the moment.
We'll see if Ding can find a good lineup here for the barrage. He's entering into the window as they all charge in. Slime nearly with the sound barrier ready to go. Hoxall falling low, getting top back up. Twilight just trying to spray him down, but the sound barrier is just a second too late. They cannot save his life. Hoxall's gonna die, but it might not matter because RunAway are coming up with the kills. Bumper charges in, finds Decay. The flip comes down. Now at 28%, RunAway moving up. Only 34 gained for KongDoo.
Very much a symbol of the old meta here is this first point as we reach the 34 even. RunAway takes the lead. Both fights won by Graviton Surge. KongDoo Panthera, though, still has another one nearly ready here. So we'll see if they can flip it before that RunAway 99% curse comes through. Ding is always looking for a flank. He's always looking for an opportunity, but Bumper has been in position to deny. Janu as well is ready for that defense matrix. Decay just trying to right-click his way to another charge.
Really has it. So that barrage in, it's a push forward from Roar. Bumper just waiting, throws down the shatter, and he's gonna find three! Locks him in! The pin gets rid of Youngjin. That's gonna be the Transcendence pop here by Lumpy Makoma. He cannot stay alive. They all charge in on top of the Mercy. They take him down. Ding used the barrage, now doesn't have that. It's really just going to be a rally and an Earth Shatter here for the approach for KongDoo. 75% for RunAway as they look to take the first round of Lijiang.
Bumper will take credit, I think, to most, but to a keen eye that was set up by a shield bash coming through from Hoxall. He stunned Roar, which meant in that split second, the shield was down and Bumper could hit a massive Earth Shatter. It's plays like that that are required to win the Reinhardt battle in Brigitte versus Brigitte, and Hoxall comes up big with one. One more chance here for Panthera.
We're back out, rally ready to go. Youngjin gonna toss this one in now. He falls low, almost goes down. Will be able to stay alive. Graviton Surge comes through, finds two. Lumpy's gonna die. They lock down Decay. They get rid of him. Dash to the side, Coma tries to get the hell out of dodge, but he doesn't get the opportunity. He gets taken down mid-flight, and it's just gonna be cleanup time for the side of RunAway as that overtime takes down 100-34. They open things up for the win on Gardens.
So, an extra bit of damage that they were running, KongDoo Panthera, with Ding on the far, one of his comfort picks. But it's so difficult to utilize Barrage in a situation where you're fighting in a small, compact area, where the areas in which you will be able to get an angle will always be covered by Janu's defense matrix. It's just so difficult to utilize the far in those moments. But the winning play was Hoxall setting up that shatter, because from that point on, they had to take an awkward approach. They always had the advantage from that moment forward. So RunAway leads the charge here. They will run the same composition, and it looks to be that KongDoo Panthera will do the same. Ding continuing to lock in the Pharah, running the Zenyatta here as well as their countermeasure to the enemy grabs, because they don't have any way to eat it because they're running a D.Va-less composition with the Pharah. So that's why they have to run the Zenyatta. It's not for Discord Orbs, but it is for Transcendence. More sustainability on the side of RunAway.
Well, again, just waiting, hugging around the corner. They'll drop down. Fire Strike not going to get the connection. Huxel already swinging his way through. They try to get down onto Youngjin. Armor Pack helping to keep Bumper alive. He's still dangerously low, and no one can get close enough. Twilight couldn't push forward. Could not keep Bumper alive. That's going to be RunAway held at bay as the first cap will be taken by KongDoo Panthera.
Very nice control here by Panthera. RunAway going for a bit of an all-in tactic to use the speed boost to try to surprise Panthera, beat them up with burst before the bar could do damage.
We have Roar isolated here. Mercy sitting, hovering above, trying to get them topped up. Coalescence comes down from Twilight as they charge through. Youngjin gonna get eliminated. Thing nearly with a barrage, ready to go. Tries to dash his way back. It's gonna be the rally out from Hawks as they push in onto the point. Janu got rid of that pesky Pharah. Res comes down onto Youngjin, putting a Brigida back into the mix, but RunAway have the flip. The rally gonna be popped by Youngjin. He's gonna go down. The charge comes down from Bumper. They lock him in. Graviton Surge used by Decay. Shattered down from Bumper. Charge comes out of Roar. Not gonna hit anything. They all pile in on top of the Reinhardt. They're looking to take him down. The barrier's holding strong. They're pocketing him up. Roar will not die as he just swings away, trying to build up for another Earth Shatter.
The Bumper gets the charge kill. Stitch comes up with a big one. And Ding, again, he's just totally worthless on this Pharah, unfortunately. Pharah does consistent damage with rockets, and it can be called burst in some senses. But with the enemy composition that runs both Lucio and the Moira, you need to get an instant kill with the follow-up damage coming through from a charge, a fire strike, or just a swinging hammer. Otherwise, it doesn't matter that you're running triple tank. They're running the Pharah, it feels like almost only for combos with grab, but RunAway has ways to shut that down. They have more sustained healing, so Ding, his damage is only to build a barrage that he can never use.
Charge coming through yet again from Bumper as he goes in deep. Stitch finds Decay. For the second time, the barrage comes out. Will eliminate Slime, but Ding and Coma both go down. No more Pharmacy, no more nothing. KongDoo Panthera can barely leave their dropship. 57% now for RunAway as they keep ticking up.
Roar almost has another Shatter. And Ding, he already used his barrage. You would think in this moment, in Dire Straits, 65% against them, they would make some sort of switch to the D.Va, at least for more mobility, more tank line. Maybe a support swap as well, but RunAway just outclassing them in every way in terms of sustainability now. Huxel drops down the rally, so they have armor on top of it all. This has to be the fattest Shatter, or it is not going to be a win here on map 1 for KongDoo Panthera.
Pushing up, looking for an opportunity, needs Youngjin to get that shield bash
looking
down
for
onto
it.
Bumper. Is inching away as they poke down the barrier for now. 90% comes in from the side. It's like they just forgot that he was there. Sound barrier out from Slime, however, keeps him alive and in the fight for so long. And now they're looking to turn it around. Roar gets the counter charge onto him, and he will fall. 99% now for RunAway. Coalescence coming down. The kills spilling through. It's a team wipe. RunAway. They take it 100 to 17%. They close out map 1 on Lijiang.
No one will ever convince me, no one in the world could ever convince me that RunAway did not know he was there. That was intentional, that was coordinated and communicated. They knew that. That was the only ult that KongDoo Panthera had. No grab available and no barrage. And in that moment, they decided to look for a fight using Sound Barrier defensively. They're running the composition that has sustained healing. The Sound Barrier buys you enough time to use your Amp It Up for the Lucio to heal through the damage coming out from the Shatter, as well as the Moira left clicks that are going to keep you alive. From that moment on, Twilight opens up with some kills, and it's all history from there. You know you have the ult advantage. Instead of potentially allowing Youngjin to make a massive play with a shield bash like you were alluding to, they play into, intentionally it feels, KongDoo Panthera's hands. They knew that Roar was there, but playing around him and the shield bash was riskier than just going for a guaranteed, pre-coordinated Sound Barrier defense. I don't think anyone in the world could convince me that was an accident, that they just walked in like that, you know, looking for an angle, because if the Shatter doesn't go off, they win the fight 100%. If the Shatter does go off, they can sustain through it because they have better sustained healing versus the Mercy and the Zenyatta on the other side. It feels silly from the outside looking in, but RunAway just turned that fight into theirs after a Shatter connects with several of their members.
I mean, it might have been a calculated, coordinated effort from RunAway in the end, as you're saying, but good God, was it tense, was it scary for them, pushing out that way, just eating that Earth Shatter and hoping to God that they manage to survive. They do that and more. Team wipe into victory. RunAway kicking things off with a very strong win. But we still have to be concerned for them and hopeful for KongDoo. They pulled off a reverse sweep the last time these guys squared up. Can they do it again in a grand final? Obviously, not even at that point yet. They could still come out on hybrid, but that's got to be something that's eating away in the back of the minds of the RunAway players. Is, even if we go up 3 maps, there's always that chance.
Yeah, and I think that the idea was not to get massively shattered there, but we'll talk more about it after we come back from a break.
Yeah, quick little break, guys. We'll see you in a bit. We're seeing this.
Okay.
This is happening.
So Wrecking Ball will sit and operate on this high ground. It's going to be Janu. They're running a D.Va-less composition with double support. So Ana obviously pretty required for Wrecking Ball, in my opinion, when you're running comps like this, because you need that long-range healing, something that obviously the Zenyatta will be able to provide as well. We're going to look to see the pile driver be a huge element of this, and you could disrupt Reinhardt compositions with the roll and the kind of the grapple itself. So pile driver and the swing are going to be important.
That's a great start. Coma, of all people, with the Widowmaker, takes down Haksal off the start.
Huge pick.
Wrecking Ball coming down now. Pile driver going to be dropped in. Lumpy going to fall low. But Bumper and Twilight both going to go down. They trade it out for the Zenyatta, and the res is available from Coma, so puts them right back into the fight. RunAway. They are going to have to do some damage control now. Janu still going to be alive, still going to be rolling around like a madman, but in onto the point is KongDoo Panthera. First tick already coming in.
Stitch is going to look to delay this. He hasn't been spotted yet, but he doesn't have a pulse bomb either. He's only going to buy time.
Rockets are coming down. Get halfway there. Pile driver dropping back in. He gets in on top of Lumpy, trying to get rid of that Zenyatta. The pocket comes through from Coma, trying to keep him alive. They charge for it, and that's going to be Lumpy going down. And now RunAway try to regain control over the point. It seems like they will be able to do so at the last possible moment, really. Ding gets Haksal, but the rest of his team is dying. Spraying away with the quad cannons, looking for the shots on Coma. Not quite going to be able to track him down, but Twilight gets him.
I mean, the other thing about Wrecking Ball is he's technically hit scan, and he can do a lot of range damage to help track down a Pharah like that, as you just saw Janu do.
His accuracy is insane.
It is, and this comp is designed to have Wrecking Ball cause disruption so that Haksal can do most of the damage, and they bought enough time to do that.
Pile drive straight back in again. Bumper going to die off the bat. Janu falling low, now has the ult ready to go. Got the kill there on the Roar. The rest is going to have to be channeled. Coma puts him back into the fight. Twilight, nano boost set. Ready to roll. See if it's going to be onto Bumper or onto Janu. But Slime will get picked off. Lumpy coming up the kill onto the enemy Zenyatta. He still has his armor. John's coming into the back. Ding getting some hits there onto Haksal. Twilight now going to die. There are no supports available for the side of RunAway. Now it's going to be Haksal getting kills. He hits the ground. The tank's waiting to try to re-engage, but they're not going to get the opportunity. The cap comes through. It's 4.5 minutes plus here for KongDoo.
Ding outplayed Haksal in most respects there, even with the nano boost. And this comp is designed to shut down Reinhardt comps, at least disrupt them, and allow Haksal to do massive damage, and then, of course, combo his swings with a barrage. But it just didn't happen that way, especially because he was the first to die right out of the opening, with Coma predicting he would be on that Zarya. Now they're going to play aggressive, try to get a big grab here out of the gate. Here it is, right on the wall.
Straight in onto the wall. No real follow-up yet. Decay and Youngjin actually fall dangerously low. Roar now down to about half HP as they charge forward. Slot pushing in here, looking for the hits. Roar still managing to stay alive. Barrage off screen from Ding does take down Bumper. Finding one, alleviating pressure, and the Reinhardt will survive through all of this.
KongDoo Panthera is playing this so well, and they only used 2 ultimates. That's all they used here for this. Stitch does grab the kill here onto Ding, but it's only the first step of many they will need to control this drawbridge. Look at the gatekeeping here from Panthera. They can't even get out of the spawn.
Shatter.
Stitch gets a flank.
Ready to go, but Roar holding on to it for now.
Stitch is changing the atmosphere here.
Trapping his way around, he finds Lumpy, takes him down, gets Youngjin as well. Oh, Stitch, here we go. This boy's warmed up, he's ready on the Widow.
It's the line of sight he got from the flank that KongDoo Panthera wasn't prepared for that allowed this to happen. Had he not been able to get out of spawn, it would have been so much more difficult for them to regain control of the card itself. Panthera will switch Ding off the Pharah onto the Hanzo here, but maintain that ult advantage here. And Youngjin is going to pop the rally for armor, but look at this barrage angle!
It's set up, it's going to be the nano drop in as they try to keep Haksal alive, and they will do just that. Double kill comes through as Roar and Lumpy will fall. Haksal still playing for it, gets a couple extra rockets in on the back end of that, but that is just going to be KongDoo Panthera halted as RunAway try to gatekeep them here, quite literally at this choke.
Hey, Haxal's got a nice angle still.
Another one.
No one can touch him.
Roar, takes him down. The rest going to be used on the Youngjin, but now they have to wait for the Reinhardt because they need that shield up to push forward. Decay does manage to pop Janu out of the mech and takes him down.
The one thing that RunAway doesn't have is a Brigida here, which means that KongDoo Panthera, Roar in particular, should be able to get out of this fairly easily. Barrier angled up. Decay's going to be able to push his way onto the cart. They'll have a grab soon. RunAway's just operating around Stitch's Widow now on the angles.
Decay falls so low, but he gets that bubble up in time to stay alive. Bumper leaping back onto the high ground. Nearly has the Primal Rage ready. Drop back down, they're zapping away, nearly find the kill.
Nice
They're on to Coma, hook comes through, Primal now going to be popped. Luffy and Coma both under fire. Bumper swings to the right, finds the hit, takes down the Zenyatta. Now the pin coming through. He'll be charged all the way into the back, but he's still got Primal Rage. He's just going to jump up onto the high ground, drops back down. Self-destruct down from Janu, not going to be finding any kills. Another hook in onto the Winston, but he is just not falling. Zapping away fearlessly, and Hoxel has the rockets. They take down Youngjin.
It's incredible what KongDoo was able to do given the circumstances, but still RunAway becomes the more ult-efficient team.
Decay's trying to match.
Yeah, and now let's see if Decay can get these kills because he has line of sight disadvantage. Stitch already just popped his ultimate, so as you can see, no one can really show their heads. KongDoo Panthera is going to wait it out, but Hoxel's already waiting for another barrage over Roar, who's already switched away from the Reinhardt onto the Winston. They know they don't have a lot of time. They need to approach the point here speedily and avoid those headshots from Stitch.
This
barrage is ready.
Can make or break it. They're going to drop it down. We'll find a couple hits in onto Ding, and they're going to pop him out of the mech, so still going to be pretty worth it. They take him down, that's just more time bought. They started with 4:37 on the clock, and now it's 1:13. They barely moved out of the gate. Decay finds Hoxel, Stitch answers back onto the enemy Widow. Bumper will go down. Stitch just getting the hell out of there. Will be able to escape with his life, and now finally the cart is starting to move forward for KongDoo Panthera as they approach the bridge.
Youngjin is making big plays here on this Hog. Stitch looking for an opening, but he's matched already.
Body shot, taking down Luffy. Big value target if he can get it as that Transcendence is almost available. Whole Hogged, gonna be popped by Youngjin, just pushing them back into the castle, pushing Janu away, trying to break the mech, and I think he might just have done it. Yes, he does. Slime, however, finds the hits on the Youngjin, the cart moving forward. They barely leap in time. Transcendence out from Luffy to keep everybody alive as Hoxel is over onto his trademark Genji. Right clicking away, trying to get the hits in onto Coma, but Stitch is gonna be the one that follows up for the kill. Decay finds Bumper, left clicks in, dash through, gets the break. Onto the mech there for Ding, they take him out.
Pilot
but
keep a
Ding
kill.
comes up with a kill, and now the cart's inching forward again.
Widow, battle
Gets
here.
stopped off, 0.55 meters away. Decay is dangerously low, drops down, finds the Mega Pack. Twilight going to die. Hoxel, or Slime rather, trying to keep this one contested. Bumper comes through, tags it back in. The Primal Rage is here. Decay finds Stitch. Luffy goes down, but there's no one else here for RunAway. The completion will be there onto this point B, but it's 1:30 on the clock as they try to enter the castle.
That's trademark right there, how you use Primal Rage in a situation like this to guarantee a cart capture. Very well played by Roar. He knew he was going to be making the switch to the Reinhardt right afterwards, so just use Primal Rage to guarantee that final completion there on point B. They're going to swap the composition back to what's very strong on C's, the Hanzo combos here with Reinhardt, Zarya. Hoxel's close to a Dragon Blade, and Stitch will make that McCree swap.
Over onto that one, the self-destruct goes into the back, but it's not going to be finding any kills. Bumper takes down Ding, Roar falls low. Hoxel going to die. Transcendence out now as they charge
Roar's
forward.
angled.
Slime looking to escort them all forward. Roar gets taken down as Twilight finds the kill. Bumper for the Primal Rage. Goes into the back, tries to knock Ding off the map, will not be able to do so, and rejoins back inside the castle with the rest of his squad.
KongDoo Panthera now with a lot of good tools here to capture this C. Youngjin gets heal denied.
Zapping away, but now both supports going down as well as Stitch. Bumper dead, Hoxel going down. Janu going to be burned out of this mech.
And now they can't deny the grab.
That's going to be the team wipe effectively coming through. They have nothing
He's
to deny this
staggered.
Graviton Surge. Janu goes down right at the last second. Grab could just be pinned
He's
to
going
the
to use
wall.
it in spawn. He's going to use it in spawn probably right on the wall, as you say, to make sure they can't tag the
You
point.
would
Here it is.
expect, pins it down, locks in the Winston, but Stitch already made his
The
way
combo.
out. He's skirting around in the back. Dragon Blade's out from Hoxel. He dives in deep. He finds Sting. He finds Coma. Gets rid of him, but Youngjin follows up, finds the kill. Onto the Genji, and now Stitch is going to be eliminated. It's just Janu all on his lonesome. Popped out of the mech. Will get taken down. Completion's going to be there. Bumper cannot rejoin. KongDoo Panthera, they get to point C, but not with that much time left in the bank.
KongDoo Panthera showing the multifacets of their play. Youngjin showing his prowess on the Roadhog without his fantastic hooks multiple times there, especially on B. RunAway, would have held them on the drawbridge. They would not have even gotten to B. They would have not have completed that. They would have never even had a push for C. As we headed into the end there, the kill onto Janu at the end meant that guaranteed they were going to be able to use the Graviton Surge to prevent RunAway from having a cost-efficient engage in terms of ultimates and damage output there. So the grab comes through. When there's no D.Va on the other side and you hit your grab right at that moment, it's worst-case scenario for RunAway. You mentioned the weak time bank, but we know RunAway has been held on drawbridge on this map many times, especially in high-stakes matches like Grand Finals before, and this is one of KongDoo Panthera's best maps for A defense. And I have a strong suspicion we will not see the Wrecking Ball setup that RunAway used, the riskier play. I think they'll take something much more safer. And in fact, we do see the traditional Reinhardt, Zarya, Pharah with the Brigida flex here for Youngjin on the defense. KongDoo Panthera is never a team to rewrite the meta or break it. They usually just play to what their strengths are, even back in the Apex days, or just try to basically optimize the way that the meta is played. And that's what Void was so famous for back in Apex Season 3 with his D.Va play, for example, just to name historical players. Luffy, of course, one of the players who adopted that switch of the Soldier triple DPS. Just giving KongDoo's history, even with this new roster, they kind of do the same thing. They take a meta, optimize it, and run to the best of their ability here. So, more standard comp here. Stitch will look for that opening pick onto the Pharah, and we'll see if he makes a swap away from that to the Zarya right afterwards. Here's the opening. There's the Zarya swap, so he's not going to stick with the Widow except for that opening pick that Koma got last time.
Didn't find the hit. Twilight charging in, topping up Bumper. So those rockets come down from Ding. They work their way out into the open. Orb coming through, just helping to keep everybody topped up. They fall low, fading in the back. Twilight keeping everybody's health bars level here at the moment. He takes a lot of damage, but Slime finds the first kill. As the K goes down, Ding gonna be run down. Slime, he's a man on a mission. And the mission is just to kill everybody on KongDoo Panthera. Comes up with another one. The Pharah gonna be eliminated. Koma gets a res onto Roar, but he goes down. Now Youngjin, now Luffy, now everybody just gonna be falling as RunAway explode forward in onto point A, and this is a very bad look for KongDoo Panthera. Can they pull off as successful of a defense as we saw from RunAway and drain down this massive time bank?
I do appreciate that Panthera does not feed further charge over to Stitch. In fact, because Stitch does not have a Graviton Surge and not even close to one, he was around 53%, he's gonna make the swap over to the Widow, because they can't use, look at that, great opportunity. They can't make use of Grav to deny everyone from getting out of spawn like we saw Panthera just do on attack.
Now Rez is dead, he finds another headshot there onto Decay, weakening that Zarya. Roar is going to fall. No Reinhardt to play forward. RunAway just keep pushing up. They find members group, they can just go ahead and throw down that Earth Shatter if they so please.
They certainly could, but I mean, in this case, they kind of delay Decay's respawn if he dies. He does build 87% of a Grav throughout that exchange.
Headshot there on the Roar.
Stitch has perfect line of sight control, something that KongDoo Panthera could not say the same about when they were on the drawbridge. As you can see, Stitch is just easily finding opportunities here.
Body shot on the Luffy. No kill. If he can get rid of that Transcendence, it's absolutely huge for this push. Another shot, point blank range in onto Decay. Graviton Surge is going to be used, but it doesn't find anyone at all. Still taking pot shots. Earth Shatter comes down, barriers up. Roar not going to get locked in, but Youngjin will be executed at the start. Push forward, answering shatter from Roar,
but no damage.
Can they find the follow-up kills? The answer is no, because so many people have to hide their heads from Stitch.
No damage here, no follow-up, and that's a wasted shatter that will be so valuable for contesting B here that they no longer have. This is going to be a massive time bank for RunAway to push for C. Stitch can easily just look for one more pick, and then he will make the Zarya swap shortly afterwards as they head into the castle.
I mean, they have as much time in the bank going into the castle as they did on the point A cap. That was so rapid.
There's the switch. So Stitch is now looking to, of course, just supplement Bumper further for the tank composition. Slime has a sound barrier.
Pushing forward. KongDoo, how do they stop this? 30% for another Graviton. Roar playing the corner at the moment. They all push forward. The bubble's there. Self-destruct going to be tossed into the back. Wrap around the pillar, but Ding can't make it in time. He goes down. Now the fire strike in onto Koma. Gets rid of the Mercy. Brigida goes down, and Stitch, even operating at half energy, is still just helping to rip through that Reinhardt. They're rounding the final corner already. The only good news for KongDoo Panthera is that they finish with time in the bank.
Yeah, there's a grab about to be available, and they're going to make the swap over to sustained healing here. Let's see if they can get that grab off.
Rally coming through. Slime just holding the sound barrier for now. We'll toss it out. Helps keep Hawksall alive. Decay getting so close. Has the grab. Pins it into the cart so it can't be eaten. They lock up the members of RunAway, but the kills aren't here yet. Hawksall goes down, but they trade two back. Ding's going to get knocked out of the mech. Youngjin dies with the rally available. Roar trying to come back through, does have that shatter, but Bumper tosses his own first, goes for the charge, looks for a Koma, but cannot find him. Roar pushing back in. basically on his own, getting locked up. A Graviton Surge out from Stitch as they try to seal the deal. A party explosion from Janu as they work that cart into point C. Runaway finish on Eichenwald with an absolutely massive time bank compared to the 1.8 seconds that KongDoo have.
The opening self-destruct in itself from Janu was a beautiful thing because Runaway was able to identify early that Youngjin was looking for the flank there. They knew that the only person who could prevent the self-destruct from getting potential kills was going to be Roar, who was also out of position when that came through, so there was no way to save Ding. He was a guaranteed kill. Janu knew that. Then they, after killing him, after everyone else had to avoid the self-destruct because there was no protection, they could collapse onto Youngjin because he was alone. It's like Runaway is reading KongDoo Panthera like a book. And KongDoo Panthera is playing this map the same way they played it the last time they chose it, and they have not adapted. Runaway has downloaded their strategies, is just predicting their movements. Even with the Wrecking Ball defense we saw attempted on Runaway's very first defensive attack, even that is kind of playing against what we've seen from Panthera so many times. Luckily, they got that opening pick onto Huxall's Pharah, or else it would have been even more difficult. So Runaway just has, I feel, all the cards in their hands right now. It may be that Panthera is going to be the first team to have to maybe pull out the Sombra or try to do attack Wrecking Ball. Yeah. Not going to be able to do that with 1 minute here, though. It's just going to be standard goats. The only way they have any chance of getting A is with this very composition.
Well, a minute on the clock, they get bumped up by a significant margin, but so too does Runaway. So 5:07 for them on this push. KongDoo Panthera, they need massive success,
nice,
and that's a great way to start. Yeah, Ding just really rockets his way straight into the back, finds the hits there on the Twilight. No res to be found, as it is just going to be that goats, and now Huxall also going to be going down. Janu gets popped out of the mech. This is a fantastic start for KongDoo Panthera. How far can they go off this cap is going to be the question, and can Runaway try to tag back in to delay this? Slime is on the exit, however, so it doesn't seem likely.
So now I think Ding should swap. He's being very aggressive here, but he's not going to do much if Stitch pulls out the Widow, and Stitch does pull out the Widow. He's just a liability on the Pharah. He will go to the spawning room and make that swap because the Widowmaker is just going to make him irrelevant. It's better for him to be on this D.Va where he can mitigate a lot of what Runaway is trying to do, and also it's going to make Stitch's pick here less valuable for this first part heading to B. They have to hold on the cart, so Widowmaker is not going to be very useful against a more tanky composition like this one. Very good concussive mine to open up that point A as well there from Ding is why he was able to do so much damage. Now we're looking for Huxall to have that big stun.
Push forward bumper. 25% away from that shatter. That can end it all here for KongDoo Panthera. Spamming away, Decay just trying to build up. Shatter ready to go from Roar.
They're trying to bait it again.
Pushing his way around. That's going to be the charge coming down, but the Shatter is still hit. They charge in. 3 kills very swiftly coming through off the back of that break on Janu's mech. And KongDoo Panthera can keep moving forward.
Runaway was trying to look for a pop-up shield there. They were trying to bait it. Not the same way they did on Lijiang, of course, where they had the supporto ultimates, but actually, in fact, it just baited out, didn't block it because they had 2 barriers with both the Brigitte and the Rein. They failed to get the block. They miss it by just a second, so KongDoo Panthera has massive ult advantage. Decay doesn't have the grab he wanted here, though.
He has it ready to go just about now. One final click.
But it's too late.
He sees that D.Va.
He has to back away. He can't try to do that into the D.Va.
It's going to be a long wraparound to try to gain control over the point. He can maybe pin it into the wall here. Going to toss it out. He manages to find the hit, but the Shatter comes down. They'll be keeping everybody topped up here with that Transcendence. A self-destruct up into the air from Janu, looking for a pick. Not going to find him. It doesn't matter. They get them away from the cart in time. The 2 kills was all that was necessary for Runaway. So that just shy of point B. That's a good push.
Yeah, that's a good push.
For KongDoo Panthera, starting off with a minute. But it's 5:07 in the bank for Runaway. This is still such a tough situation if you're a KongDoo fan.
This is all about A for KongDoo now. They have to make A their all-in-all. If A is captured, their weakest point has always been the B defense against players like Stitch. So I really appreciate how they played after they gave up control of the choke point, then pushed onto the cart instead of trying to push back to the choke point because they needed to play around the fact that they were in overtime, but still push the cart an incredible distance. So that was absolutely top-level play we saw from Panthera. And I know a lot of people look at this and going, well, they're not, I mean, Runaway's just going to get completion. There's no way they win this. But if they have a good hold on A, if the hold on A burns a lot of that time bank, and then they could set up for the hold on the doorway, the gate leading into the castle phase, that is how KongDoo Panthera ties up this series. It's a tall ask here, tall order, tough ask. mixing those phrases up there. But it's certainly, in theory, possible, and we've seen a lot of crazy holds.
Contenders. Just in case you forgot what you were watching.
Yeah, I know, like, it feels like Apex, but that's not what it is anymore.
Feels like the Houston Outlaws.
Yeah, that color scheme certainly does. All right, so the attack here for RunAway will be Stitch on the Widow to start, but he'll switch over to the Zarya if he can't get a pick. They have a lot of time to keep him on it for a little bit here. So he is going to look for more. He's going to look for a flank.
Shots coming down from Ding, playing quite far forward here. Not going to find too many connections.
The Zarya swap does come through here, as Ding is just looking for consistent damage. Here's the speed boost.
Rocket's coming down, looking for the hits. Gets one there on a Hawksall, jumps back up into the sky as he falls low. They're chasing in, and Janu, he's up over top of him. He's going to take him down, pin in on Akoma as they try to get the kill, and will be able to do so. Janu has to follow up, but Hawksall will be traded out.
Youngjin's going to get DMAC too.
Getting taken out of that one. Stitch finds the kill in onto the K as they work their way onto the point. The first tick getting ready to come through. The members of KongDoo Panthera kiting their way into the back of the point. Luffy, the Transcendence already built up, has that one set and ready to go. Might feel enough pressure to pop it, and he does. He'll charge back in. One tick comes through for the side of RunAway. Actually barely miss it. They don't have that one locked in, and now it's going to retract.
It's crazy to me to see in everyone except Luffy's first finals for Panthera how calm they are. In this position, RunAway's been many times.
Twilight falls low, has to fade away. Janu goes back up to try to deal with Ding. Taking him dangerously low, but Ding is still going to be sustained. Looks like the pocket comes out of Coma, and they keep him up. Hawksall and Stitch dead. Many ultimates set to go for RunAway, but if they have to use those to break open the point, that is going to make for a much slower push in the street space.
Exactly. So Panthera has two options here. One is to use no ultimates and give this point and then try to control the gate. The other is to use all ultimates and hope to ult trade RunAway with the defensive advantage they have. I think the first option is the better one here, so we'll see.
Okay. Rally to open, the barrage comes down, Roar finds the kill instantly on the Hawksall, now Bumper dead. Slime trades one back, but Ding, the damage has already been dealt. He comes up with the kills, dropping that one through. Self-destruct from Janu, manages to find Luffy, but KongDoo Panthera are still holding the choke.
And so option C, which I didn't list, was win the fight without using any ultimates, and RunAway uses a lot of theirs, which is what KongDoo Panthera got. They only used the barrage there, and self-destruct being used for Janu is a big problem. That's one of the best tools they had. Grab comes up.
Coming through, that's going to be the Earth Shatter out from Roar. It's absolutely huge. Hawksall goes down, charge in, finds Bumper. Slime is dead, RunAway. Their clock is being drained right now, 2:40.
And the hopes of the RunAway fans drain with it because they know that RunAway has choked on this map in grand finals multiple times. There are a lot of memories for the RunAway fans of that Apex Season 4 final map. But RunAway still have the support ultimates. They're going to have to use those to get Stitch and Bumper into position. It's going to be Stitch looking for a Deadeye flank, but it's going to take him a while to build that.
Push forward, charge comes in, Bumper's just going to be eliminated right off the start. The sound barrier now going to be used. Another shatter from Roar, locks them all down, and RunAway just cannot hold a candle to this defense from KongDoo Panthera.
They certainly cannot. The barrier being wasted is such a big problem for RunAway now. They needed the speed boost into the barrier to get Bumper into position. They used the barrier because Slime thought he could save Bumper in that moment. It was just a second too late. If he survives, he gets the counter shatter. Maybe they get A, and maybe their chances of victory shoot up in that moment, but he was just a second too late, and that's all it takes in a moment like this. Now you've lost your ultimate. He's going to make the swap over to the Mercy for res potential here for Bumper.
Yeah. Barrage ready to go. Grab comes down.
Huge great angle here.
All just fall time and time again. RunAway try to push forward, but they just can't do anything.
And KongDoo is just controlling this area right now. Again, besides Luffy, no one on this team has seen a grand finals. Coma was on the bench when RunAway was in Season 2, but he did not play. He was there in that grand finals against Lutekai, did not play. Now he plays against his former team who left him on the bench. And he's got a Valkyrie available to try to shut them down an additional time.
Well,
Twilight's dead.
Things a little more Johnny on the spot with shutting them down. He comes up with the kill on Twilight, forces the res from Slime. Rockets coming in. There's nearly another barrage, but there's another charge before that. Bumper just cannot poke his head out around this corner at all. Now there's another shatter. KongDoo Panthera, against all odds, are trying to pull off this full hold.
And they certainly may. They have still the ult advantage. Stitch respawns with a Deadeye, but how can he ever use it? Given the scenario, it's going to be literally impossible unless a mistake is made here. We're looking for the flank.
Oh, Stitch almost spots him. Okay, he'll peel back. That could have been everything to undo KongDoo Panthera's defense, but now Hoxell's going to be dead as he swaps over onto the Tracer. Youngjin comes up with that kill.
That should be the end of it.
Push forward yet again, 20 seconds remaining.
There's just nothing that RunAway can do anymore. Bumper has to reset. They've got 15 seconds. Hoxell makes the switch to Sombra. He's going to try to probably backdoor the point and look for a support kill to open this up. It's not going to be easy.
He's got to get the hell in there. There's 5 seconds remaining now on the clock. No idea where he is at the moment. We can't see him. Shots coming down. Deadeye does find Ding.
There's the back door.
Point. He forces out the OT as he tries to stay alive. He is. Stitch comes up with another kill. Youngjin will fall, but John who traded out as Roar comes up with that kill off the pin. First shatter here from Bumper. He needs this one to be fat. He's looking. Youngjin gonna get res back in. Stitch finds another kill. He drops down the hammer. Comes up with his hit there.
Decay's dead.
He's gonna get taken down. RunAway. Can you actually do this? They're playing with my heart right now. Roar's gonna fall. Luffy goes down. And in the last seconds, they force the OT. RunAway trying to get this cap, but now they have to make it to point B.
And the biggest
overtime.
The biggest problem is Youngjin is dead right now. He needs to be right on the other side of this gate. The fact that he's dead means that RunAway won't get through this. Yeah, that is so huge, and I think they will get through it. Youngjin is going to run as fast as he can to try to get in here to set up for what Roar is looking for here, but I think it's just going to be a little bit too late. Hoxell has the ability to flank here now and also is very close to an EMP, but it's a long way to go.
They at least have the rally though.
Stitch is looking for a flank, and no one on the side of Panthera can deal with the Widowmaker right now, so if he gets away with this for free, it's huge.
That's going to be the grab coming in. The barrage drops it down.
That's it.
And they got hopeful for maybe just a moment, but in one fell swoop, KongDoo, they shut it down. They get rid of the hopes. They get a map win. We have a series on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. No 4-0s here today. No repeat of Season 1. It's all tied up.
All tied up indeed. And the curse of RunAway in Grand Finals on Eichenwald continues. KongDoo Panthera played the safer comp on A. They played to ult efficiency, and that is exactly what they got. RunAway played around a little bit with Stitch staying on the Widow a little bit longer than usual. They played some aggressive styles where, for example, John who tossed out the self-destruct. They tried to take the scrappy fight because they knew they had time bank advantage. But the most impressive thing to me, and I know I've said it twice already, the most impressive thing to me is in RunAway's 4th finals, it actually looks like KongDoo Panthera is able to, with a team besides Luffy, has never been in this position before, is able to sit in the booth, stay calm, take ult exchanges down on ultimates that are positive, and no one is shaken. RunAway Apex Season 2 Finals, Apex Season 4 Finals, APAC Finals, and now, of course, here in the Season 2 Contenders Finals. They find themselves tied up 1-1 after a dominant push and a dominant finish on Lijiang Tower. KongDoo Panthera has momentum advantage right now, and this will be the 3rd loss this year for RunAway on Hybrid.
Losing on Eichenwald, thought maybe they had finally swung that map into their favor, and it certainly looked that way. The first push was so strong, 5:07 for that overtime round wolf. Compared to the 1 minute that KongDoo had, they pull off such a heroic defense on Eichenwald. They get that win. They lose point A, but they stomp them out at the choke, so not even close on that approach for RunAway.
Remember, too, that for the KongDoo players, everyone in this room is cheering against them for the most part. Global fans as well, massively RunAway favorite. Those who aren't here, those who are watching online at Twitch, and even the fans that aren't here in Korea, right? They're the underdogs. There's a lot of pressure against the team that has been in this Grand Finals, positioned 4 times, including today, but they stay strong. They stay, I feel, composed in spite of it all. And that's something we don't talk about all too often is the nerves. So when we talk about RunAway, we have to, because they are the biggest fan favorites you could ever ask for, you know? I mean, since Lunatic High disbanded and, of course, folded into Seoul Dynasty for the Overwatch League, there has never since been a team that's ever risen to the popularity that RunAway has. And they had everything. All the cards were in their hand with a time bank, and they just still couldn't scratch the surface there on A.
Yep.
Very, very stressful times now as we head into Assault.
And I mean, the MVP here, honestly, for KongDoo, it all just comes down to that break on Janu's mech. Had they not gotten that stagger, they would not have finished with a time bank. This would have been very one-sided for RunAway.
You're absolutely right.
And they likely would have come up with a win. That 1.8 seconds remaining on the clock is what just saved KongDoo and allowed them to tie this up. They got that inch, and they ran it for like 5 miles.
That is so true. I mean, could not be a more important point. I mean, that was the moment that allowed for the miracle to happen.
Yeah.
And when you give KongDoo Panthera a miracle on Eichenwald, they make it happen. They get the defense. The RunAway was close to getting, of course, on Horizon versus Element Mystic.
Yeah.
Very similar situation. But I feel like RunAway choked a little bit there on the attack, came in a little bit sloppy. I think abused the fact that they had a great time bank to try to set up a lot of different types of pushes. Were very liberal with their ultimates instead of conservative, which cost them big. And it was just moment after moment of good coordination from Panthera with Ding finding the flank positions, getting the barrages.
No. This is just to get him up there. No May.
Yeah.
I would love for this to actually come through, though.
As soon as I saw the teleporter, though, I was like, well, we're casting Contenders match. The teleporter was used, but yeah, not going to be for what you normally use it for. So you could take a look at RunAway. This is historically one of their worst maps, Temple of Anubis. And their attack win rate this season, 0-2, unable to take a single point of Anubis. Overall win rate, the 1-1 in 2018. We will just see the, teleported, boosted Orisa here. And on the attack, RunAway's running dive, but it is Summon-Su's Hanzo here to try to break the Orisa. Easier said than done, though, and the lack of a Widow here could come back to bite them on the defense. It's all about the attack for RunAway right now.
Going good. Playing on the mid-ground here. Youngjin looking for a hook. Not going to find anything yet as they just inch their way around the point. Haksal going on a bit of a roam.
He just barely missed the Zenyatta.
Comes in right behind the Orisa. Roar trying to stay alive. Right click's just going to be coming through. Deflection comes down, and Summon-Su's going to find the first kill as Youngjin falls now. It's going to be Luffy also going down. They see the Mercy. They know where Koma's at. The rest of RunAway moving in onto the point. Trying to get this cap coming through. Dash back up onto the high ground for Haksal. The K is going to fall. Roar drops down, but he's all on his lonesome, and he'll get taken out. RunAway, very swift cap coming through with almost 7 minutes on the clock.
Burst was always the plan for RunAway with this. That's why even though Haksal saw Luffy on the ground, he didn't go for that because the plan was to burst down the tanks on the high ground there with the Genji. That's going to hope to build a Dragon Blade for second point, and of course the Hanzo, which does the most damage to tanks. Twilight, of course, running those Discord orbs to allow that burst to come through. So very well executed here by RunAway. They're about to have the Blade. They've got Summon-Su on the Brigitte now, but the sustainable healing and the stun potential there on the defensive Genji. Really nice opportunity here for RunAway to get a great time bank with the ults they have.
They're wrapping around through the catacombs. Right now, Youngjin hugging back towards the spawn. Dragon Blade going to be pulled out. Haksal, the Mercy, moves away from him, and now he doesn't really have a target. Dashes back in. They help take down Youngjin. But overall, Blade going to be rather ineffective. Dash to the side, Koma trying to stay alive. The stun comes in, they're ready for him. The right click's there, and the Mercy will go down. Nothing onto the point yet as Luffy rejoins with the Transcendence pop, keeping everybody alive, trying to keep Ding in that mech. He falls dangerously low. He'll get popped out in the end. He just dumps us up the structure, trying to make it back through. Slime going to be eliminated. The Baby Diva not going to be given the opportunity. Twilight comes up with a kill, denying that remake, but now he is dead. RunAway nearly with one tick in onto the point, but they might be halted here. Summon-Su pops the rally, but honestly, probably should have just held that one for the next push.
That was a mistake, I think. Sure, they have 6 minutes to build time, but as we've already learned, if you use time as a concept to just throw out the idea of ult efficiency and hope for the best, especially when you have no ticks in this scenario, I think that was incorrect by Summon-Su. He'll keep his own armor for that, but that's about it. So, a very costly choice. His positioning will be important now against Decay's next Blade. He's stunned already, perfect opportunity.
Yeah, dashes through, finds 3 off the bat. One swipe, gets 2, follows up 4 in the end. Decay shutting down that approach.
All it takes is one stun like that to set up the Blade. I mean, Haksal's previous Blade could not have been less effective. He saw blood in the water, he saw the tail of Koma there in the sky, pulled his Blade out, couldn't accomplish anything. He's gonna have another one here real soon. But that's how you use a Blade against an enemy Brigitte. That was super coordinated.
Okay, good opening.
Left click there.
Haksal nearly with his Dragon Blade ready to go. They jump in, Blade set. He's gonna pull it out. He's looking for the Brigitte. Will find it. Youngjin going down. Now swiping through. Takes down Ding, pops him out of the mech. Can he get the kill? Yes, he can. Final swipe, the melee hit comes in, and now RunAway back in onto the point. Hoxel dashes through, finds Coma. Decay gets picked up. RunAway on their second attempt, their third really, after that shutdown from Decay. Make their way in, they get one tick. Now looking for the second. They grab that one, no problem. Push back onto the point from KongDoo Panthera. Luffy escorts them in with the Transcendence. As they look to take the fight, as they look to regain control. Boop off the point for the moment there as Ting pushes back in with the Diva.
Youngjin
under
surviving.
fire, does manage to stay alive. Twilight has his own Transcendence, hasn't felt the need to pop it yet, drops down onto the low ground. Self-destruct comes out from Ting, trying to find a pick, but he's not going to get it. Now the Transcendence is in. As they charge forward, Twilight keeping everybody topped up. Hoxel finds the first kill. Bumper falling low, has that Primal Rage up, but will not be able to survive. Dragon Blade here from Decay.
Another big
turn
one.
things around, but Hoxel comes in from behind, shuts him down, and now he's got his own blade set to go.
Youngjin is not assailable though from this position. Hoxel can't pull the blade out, and the respawns come through faster for Panthera.
Hoxel rejoins, gets the armor pack. Blade is ready. So
rally
to get the hit there onto Youngjin. The rally is out from Summon-Su, as you say. He's trying to get armor in on everybody, but Twilight's still going to go down, as does that Brigida.
The formation here and Youngjin's positioning are just too much for Hoxel. He can't find an opportunity with this team fight, unfortunately, despite the fact they pick up nearly 82%.
Fantastic stagger as well.
Yeah, despite the fact they pick up nearly 82%, Hoxel knows better than to pull out a blade there. The opportunity looked big when Youngjin was alone, but he knew he had his shield bash available. He knew the respawns were going to come through. It would have been a wasted blade. RunAway's going to switch composition. Janu goes back here. And we see the swap of Slime over to the Mercy. Let's see if they can make this blade big now. But again, it's going to be all about Youngjin.
So, he's getting zapped a bit. Bumper trying to get that Primal Rage online, but it's not even halfway there yet.
Here's opportunity now.
That's going to be that self-destruct infested. Ting gets taken down, but Twilight traded out as Youngjin finds a kill. Now Slime will also fall. No supports available, and RunAway is going to get stomped out. 4 members dead. The tank's trying to escape, but Bumper will not be given the opportunity. He will be eliminated. Janu makes it out, so fortunately no stagger there as he's already built up 82%. But
something that I think that we all have to discuss is sometimes Hoxel sees the first opportunity but doesn't think about the bigger picture. It's happened twice already here on this attack, looking for the kill there on the backline, looking for the Mercy, fails to get it, misses a Dragon Blade, this time sees the pilot form, thinks that that's going to turn the fight, and then is instantly killed afterwards. KongDoo Panthera, massive hold advantage.
Oh, deja vu perhaps. The Decay just comes up the left click kill there onto Hoxel. But we're back into the catacombs and there's another Dragon Blade set. Decay not drawing it out yet.
And the Transcendence is totally unnecessary here.
Hoxel gets res. Twilight just trying to keep everybody alive. They managed to pop Ting out of the mech. RunAway, can they convert this into a win? Can they get in onto the point? Primal Rage going to be used by Bumper. Roar has already used his, as Twilight is just swinging away, looking for the kills.
Decay, nothing can shut down this blade except the stun here because the Transcendence was used.
They're hounding him down. He falls down below half HP. Pulls out the Dragon Blade, still being topped up. He will not fall. Drops onto the low ground, gets the kill onto Bumper. Now rejoins with the rest of the squad and RunAway. They are in dire straits. A minute 24 left on the clock. Hoxel finds one as Roar will go down and Bumper is going to be res back in. Youngjin gets stunned up, but he is not going to die. Res onto Roar, puts him back into the fray. Youngjin will fall. Janu popped out of the mech now. Exchange on the Diva, so both are going to be running around in pilot form as Summon-Su nearly gets another rally, but Decay gets rid of Janu, takes him out, now follows up, gets Summon-Su. RunAway seemingly held at bay here for the moment. Bumper into the back, gets rid of Coma, but has to leap out to safety.
It has to be now. This is the only push that will work, or they are not getting B completed. It has to be the rally to start the approach. Hoxel will have to pull the blade with the Transcendence protecting him, burst down Youngjin. That's the only way this works. The window of time before Luffy has Transcendence is where he's going to have to make this happen. In the longer fight, Luffy easily gets Transcendence. They have the armor from the rally, so that's going to make it even harder. But it has to be right now before Luffy has Transcendence, or it's not going to work.
I mean, you also have to try to take down Decay, because as soon as that Transcendence is gone from Twilight,
he's
just going to pull out his own blade.
He pulled it out first.
Self-destruct comes down, and will fight Summon-Su as the rally gets used. So no armor really going over to anybody. Hoxel's going to pull the blade. He's looking for the Mercy, dashes through, does manage to find Coma, but he's falling low. Top back up as the Transcendence comes down from Twilight. Luffy is still alive, nearly has that Transcendence ready to go. He has it online now, and he pops it instantly as soon as he gets it available. Pilot form Diva just going to be hounded down as Hoxel gets the kill. RunAway trying to make their way in onto the point. Slime falling low. Gets top back up. Summon-Su offers him that armor pack.
They're getting pushed back though. They need more. They need kills.
And Hoxel falling so dangerously low. Tops back up again, staying alive, but RunAway have to be in for the fight here. They have to get this cap. Roar and Youngjin gonna go down, but Roar's res back through. Coma puts him back into the fray. KongDoo Panthera Going low on Ding's mech as they try to get the pop, but he drops onto the low ground to buy a little bit more time. They're so damn close to getting this cap. 98.1%. The kills now coming through. RunAway get it, but it's in overtime.
And now, with the overtime capture, high fives in the booth, but it's always in the back of your mind that this is a meta where double caps are the standard, and you're unable to do so. You go down 2-0. Haksal, you go down to 0 on the tieback. Haksal, grabs his chest. He feels the pressure. He knows he had some mediocre blades there. He went down to 2 health in that last fight. Had Summon not burst healed him up with the Brigida heal, he would have died, and we might be looking at a 1-0 here before the attack of Panthera. They do get the capture, but it's a long, long defense now they're going to need if they have any chances of taking this map. They are this year on the map 1-1. And historically speaking, it's been a problem outside of Volskaya for RunAway to secure these B captures. Huxell's always been a great Genji on Anubis since the beginning of time. Although the guy used to play Mei attack on Anubis, but once the Genji became more meta, that was the swap. But look at this. This was the bigger problem we were already alluding to earlier. This is a composition of players with Summon Su subbed in that does not have a Widowmaker, and that's the biggest issue here. We're going to see double projectile here with Haksel on the Junkrat and Summon Su on the Pharah. This defense doesn't hold water for very long. You may see the swap to goats here from Panthera early, and if they can just sustain through that damage, it becomes an easy capture to A, and then they're going to have to swap once more for the B defense with an ult deficit. KongDoo Panthera is so good at Assault at getting those double captures that RunAway failed to do. So right now, if you're a RunAway fan, you feel relieved because they were able to get B, but you feel terrified because you know what Panthera is capable of, and you know that Summon Su in the booth means no Stitch Widow on one of Widow's strongest maps of Assault.
Push forward coming through. We'll just be sticking with this Genji Hanzo.
Yeah, for the time being.
So see this one every now and then, a bit rarer in the composition.
Very powerful against the Junkrat that has no Widow to back it up.
Push into the side, Holt not going to find anything. Youngjin under fire, goes low, but will be able to stay alive.
Here's the
back
flank.
around, looking for the hits, and yeah, the flank coming through. Decay, wrapping his way all the way into the back.
He's going to maybe tag onto the point.
No, he doesn't want anyone to know that he's here, but I think he might have just been spotted. Yep, the call comes through. And that's just going to be Jono immediately moving forward to try to dissuade him from pushing in. Awkward position here for RunAway as Haksal goes low and goes down. Ding finds the kill. They trade one back onto Decay. Sominsu gets that rocket to connect. They're going to be popped out of the mech, gets eliminated. A good start to the hold here for the side of RunAway.
And the plan starts to make more sense here. Summon Su, we haven't seen him really on the Pharah that much this season because Haksell's great on the Pharah, but in this position, you're running this comp that's very strong against goats. Panthera's running dive because they expect this. They know Summon Su's in the booth. Decay he doesn't touch the point, he's careful like you say, but he does get the dash damage, but he dies. Summon Su picks up 2 kills, and his Pharah is coming up big for RunAway already. Already this feels terrible for Panthera because you ran the counter comp, but you just cannot get in there.
We'll still have plenty of time. Try to convert this into a victory.
Decay's just trying to farm a blade right now. You can tell by how he's playing this.
Well, he's almost got it. Summon Su nearly has a barrage as well. Rocket comes in, finds the hit there. Wanagoma takes him low, now the blade's gonna be pulled. Decay finds the first hit there on a Haksal. Dashes in, looking for the Brigida. They just can't get an angle on him. Blade's gonna expire, however, as he gets pooped back, so just gonna be the one kill for now.
Huge rally here,
low,
potentially.
down, Decay dashes his way through the barrage down from Summon Su. Finds one onto Youngjin. Dragon strike in onto the point, not gonna be getting any kills from the side of KongDoo Panthera. They're still looking for the fight, they're still looking for the victory, but Summon Su's trying to shut that down. Gets a kill on Akoma, but Decay gets rid of him. Twilight takes down Roar, stun up onto Ding. He's got a self-destruction, can make it back into the mech unless they can kill off the pilot form. Tosses it up into the air, drops down, not gonna find any kills, but no tick still here for the side of KongDoo Panthera as the clock gets drained down. Bumper trying to zap out Decay, who nearly has another blade pulled. 10% left to go, Ding taken out of the mech, Bumper gonna die, and I don't think Slime can get in a position to try to put him back into the fight.
Okay, this Riptire could actually buy them so much time.
He's gonna run it up onto the high ground. He's looking for an opportunity. Self-destruct comes through. Hasn't found a target yet. He wants to Winston. He leaps back down. Comes in with a primal range. Roar's still gonna get popped down to about half HP, but will not be finding the execution onto that Winston yet. First stick nearly through. Decay pulls out the blade. Comes in. Finds Twilight. Finds Haksal. Gets the mech away from Jono. And this should be the take onto the point for RunAway. They're still gonna be trying to delay. The one tick comes through. Bumper jumps in, but no primal range. No healers really. And now no Pharah, so we'll just be taken down 5 minutes on the clock for KongDoo Panthera.
RunAway played this beautifully, though, from start to finish. Suminsu, really good rocket connections. They buy so much time. They will prevent the double cap with this because Panthera had to use so many tools. They've got 5 minutes, but still, RunAway did a lot with this composition. Twilight and Slime, the Valkyrie and Rally combo to keep everybody alive, to avoid the Dragon Blades. Really well played, but now is the scary part. Now is the hardest part, the uphill battle on defense here for RunAway. Rally out already from Twilight, so they're going to keep that armor.
Pop that, trying to keep everybody sustained, but no one else is really receiving the armor. Not even Slime. It's getting a connection for that one. Hawksall taken down. He uses that Transcendence, and now Decay is charging forward with his Dragon Blade. Looking to shut this down, looking to open up the point. Full range going to be used by Bumper. Suminsu will die as he has that barrage ready to go. Janu going to get knocked out of the back. Bumper so very low as the Primal Rage gets ready to expire. Jumps back in onto the point, but KongDoo Panthera, they have not suffered any losses. They are so strong to stay in onto this point. They're trying to get the completion. Hawksall will swap over onto the Doomfist, builds up 30%, but then he's taken down. They need a massive barrage here, perhaps. Drops it in, finds one, looking for another. Some hits will take down Youngjin in the end. Gets rid of some of the supports. Koma's still going to be in the fray and might even be able to get a res off. And he does. Luffy's going to be brought back into Suminsu, gets taken down by Ding. Still no ticks coming through. Hawksall manages to get rid of the Zenyatta, but Roar with the Primal Rage gets rid of Twilight. Group off onto the point, takes Youngjin, or Janu rather, out of that mech, and they will execute him. Pin comes through from Bumper, gets rid of the Winston. Hawksall going low, trying to get that Meteor Strike to buy some space onto the point.
He's got his shield, it keeps him alive a little bit longer. He will have the Meteor Strike soon.
They
Decay
finally abandon this.
They don't have any way to mitigate this next Dragon Blade, though. That's a scary thing.
Yep.
It's incredible, though, how much time RunAway bought. No ticks, nothing. For all the success they had, and they won that fight 3 times over and got nothing because the delay was so good from RunAway. Very well played. Slime's going to go back over to the Mercy. But the scary thing is, it's only Twilight who can shut down the Blade. There's no Transcends, and there never will be.
Not going to have it. Decay getting tagged up.
Oh, he's
Stays
caught.
alive. Twilight's going to be eliminated. Now there's no rally to trade back onto Youngjin. Blade comes through. He's looking for Slime. He's going to find him. Now turns over, looking for the mech here from Janu. Self-destruct going to be dumped. The baby defense is not going to survive. No kills coming in. Bumper finds one. Knocking Ding out of the mech.
Hawksall with another.
Up with a kill. One tick going to be gained for the side of KongDoo Panthera now.
Transcendence
dashes over to the side. Luffy does have it ready to go. And might just have to pop, but he does so, trying to keep everybody sustained. Bumper's going to fall as that Earth Shadow becomes available. RunAway going to have to try to string together to get this delay coming through before they can get that, until they can get that Earth Shadow in onto the point. Pulse bomb out from Suminsu, not going to be finding any kills. They knock Janu out of the mech now. KongDoo looking to take the fight, looking to get this finish. With about 2 minutes left in the time bank. Primal Rage is going to be used from Roar. He's just gatekeeping Bumper back over towards the spawn. Hoops him back out.
Hawksall goes down.
Going to die. Youngjin finds that hit with a ship. Bumper pushes in onto the point, throws down the Shatter, finds a couple of hits, but can they get the follow-up kills? Tries to find the pin. Roar goes low, but not going down. Bumper gets hit into the back of the point and will get eliminated. RunAway just trying to buy some time, but Decay has another blade. The Mei gonna get popped out. Suminsu gonna go down, and this should be it. This should be the finish as they just keep killing every single member of RunAway as they get in onto the point. A third one to finish things off as the mech goes down. But RunAway just keep pushing back through, just keep trying to buy some time, but eventually something's gotta give. And KongDoo Panthera will get the cap here with time in the bank.
They will, and they have a massive advantage now. Such a close defense there for RunAway. They bought a massive amount of time. The A defense was impressive, but there was no Zenyatta on the side of RunAway, and they could never make the swap because if they did, they would be killed before they could build a Transcendence. So it was just never really possible. But when you know that, there's only really Twilight on the Brigida, which is, by the way, a rare pick for him. He almost never plays it. RunAway almost always runs 2 healer support, and he's on the Ana, he's on the Zenyatta. Sometimes the Moira, of course. But it was in that moment where Youngjin was able to zone Twilight out that he got caught, that Panthera 1B. Pulls the blade, gets the Brigida kill. There's no other way to mitigate the Dragon Blade. That second blade there that came out from Decay is very likely what wins them this map. And we could be even impressed with Suminsu's Hanzo on attack there for A. We could be impressed with the forward defense we just saw. But will it be enough to buy 2 minutes of time? Again, they nearly did just that on A before. But now KongDoo Panthera has experience with this. They've seen it before. They will not be caught off guard. In fact, Youngjin will make a pretty flexible swap here to the Hanzo. And they're going to try to do very similar to what RunAway did on attack to burst the tanks and then just make Suminsu irrelevant. I already see that it's the same composition. D.Va's position is scouted by the Sonic Arrow.
Rocket's coming down, taking a lot of damage.
And there's going to abuse Janu.
With that halt. Janu falling low, but he's just going to be helping to take Ding out of the mech, and Hoxall comes with the kill. Now gets the second one onto Youngjin. He'll get the res onto the D.Va. Twilight going to be eliminated, but Sominsu comes into the back, finds Lumping. Now they find Roar. Everybody just going to be taken down here. Res brings Twilight back into the fray, so RunAway is still going to be operating as a 6-man. Final little pop out there onto Ding's mech, so forcing him to surrender any ult charge that he had gained.
What a great play to set up Janu as a bait there. It looked to me, even from that perspective, that he was just going to get punished for where he was. He was scouted, but RunAway knew how Panthera were going to operate around this. They collapse in, they trade up in kills, get a few ultimates here, the most important one being the Riptire, and KongDoo Panthera has to go back to the drawing board.
Have the barrage as well. Big drag out onto that hook here onto Janu as he tries to stay alive, but will get popped out of that mech in the end, it would seem. Sominsu now going to be eliminated as well, but Koma taken down with the Riptire, and Ding popped out of the mech yet again. Spamming away here is Janu trying to build up that pilot form, but not going to be given the opportunity. Youngjin does manage to execute him. But RunAway holding this one, 25 seconds. One tick is all that KongDoo Panthera need. Can they get it? They're staggering Youngjin. They set him into the wall. They take him down. So now it's going to be Slime. Eliminated. Looking for the hits here. Get Koma. Janu finds it. Shield bash. Rally going to be popped by Twilight. And Roar dips out. Touches the point for just a moment. Decay with his Dragon Blade.
Once again, it's all on the blade. It's all on the blade.
Huge play. Drops down, dodges out onto that little boop, but he falls low and he gets taken down. Bumper comes up with the kill. And the RunAway are looking to make this one a draw as they hold off KongDoo Panthera. Self-destruct comes in. Janu finds the Winston. Koma goes down. Zing popped out of the mech again. RunAway managing to hold this one off. They can't make it onto the point. And that's going to be it.
Draw is the final result here. And with the composition that Panthera was running, they ran a comp that they had to run. Remember, we talk about how there's no Widow on the side of RunAway with Sominsu in, but you can't run the Goats comp as easily against the Pharah Junkrat because of the way that comp operates in choke points. Junkrat does massive damage. The Pharah circumvents the Reinhardt's positioning. So you're kind of forced to run dive, which Panthera is great at. You run well against it. And unfortunately for Panthera, they got tripped up by that Janu bait on the left side room there. Then after that, they were down on ultimates. Had to build for one play with the Dragon Blade. And yet again, that was all they could hope for, is to get kill Twilight and then know that there was no Transcendence to counter what came next. And unfortunately, they weren't able to make it happen a second time. The positioning of Twilight was much better, and Sominsu on the Pharah just peppered them with so much damage that approaching the point was nigh impossible. First was the idea with the original Hanzo pick. They wanted to build up a Dragon Strike to control that high ground. Then, in the chaos, use the Dragon Blade to take point A. Either way, it felt like overall the map was dominant on attack for Panthera. RunAway comes up with the clutch defense here, and they prevent the loss. We're still tied up now, 1-1, 4 maps required for a grand final victory. But things don't feel all too great as a RunAway fan here either, because you know that you've tied this. You haven't won this. You did it off the skin of your teeth. I mean, it was as close as it gets.
But they get it in the end, all the same. So 1-1 still going to be the scoreline, as you say. Still plenty more Overwatch that we have to go through. And I know what you guys are thinking in the chat. The draw comes through, saying 2CP lull. But good news, there's no more Assault in this best of 7. So if we go to the distance, we do not have to see any more of that. Which I personally don't mind it, you know? Long fights, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
allows me to just run out of breath constantly.
It's very fun.
But,
for me,
will be Escort coming up next. So RunAway, they don't get a victory with their first map pick. Maybe with Escort coming through, they can make it happen. Try to take a lead, because you want to just get closer and closer as much as you can. 2 maps, obviously not going to be match point. This is not a best of 5. You need the 4 wins.
That's right.
Is it going to be enough? Already held at bay here, forced into a draw on their map pick of Temple of Anubis, which was an odd one. But now we have to see what they're going to be doing for Escort. The last time these 2 squads played, it was a Dorado selection, and you remember that was Hureg coming through. So not sure if that's going to happen again, guys. We'll find out if there's any player swaps, if Stitch is going to be back in, if Hureg is going to make an appearance when we come back real quick. But first,
okay, teleporter active.
Yeah, just to push them over. Yep.
Very well played.
Charge coming in already, though. very swiftly picked up that kill onto Janu.
Yeah, very well played by Panthera, just kind of predicting what was going to happen and then just instantly setting up the charge there. So it's Haksal on the Doomfist over Summon-Su as well, because Haksal has a larger hero pool and can therefore then play more heroes as we head into C, where Doomfist is much less impactful. Going to keep Stitch for the attack here as well. Looking for the Hanzo, but cannot find a scratch on him just yet.
Yeah, not even a body tag. So, lacking for the moment. Gonna get warmed back up, you know, he was subbed out for a map, so he's gonna get back into the groove, it would seem, but Bumper taken down. Res has to be used.
This is the strongest point for Hanzo on any map in the pool right now, is defending the dive, crushing the tanks. Oh, killing the Widows apparently
over
as well.
the top, yeah. Just finds that shot right on the Stitch, takes him down, Haksal.
Ding is just in full position to now wait for the respawn to come through, get some pickoffs, look for a Dragon Strike, and he's about to have that.
Yeah.
KongDoo Panthera just burning through so much time here. Bumper is going to have a tough time knocking him off the high ground when the Discord orbs are coming through from Luffy, and Ding is just hitting these shots with the Storm Arrows.
Bumper up onto the high ground, jumps in. As they look to get rid of Youngjin here on this Brigitte, but they can't really scratch the surface of the armor. Youngjin's going to be perfectly fine to stay in this position.
Yeah, he's been pocketed. Ding is looking for the Sonic Arrow, scouts everyone out.
Yep. Luffy now going to be using the Transcendence as they push over to the side. Koma's going to fall. John is going to get knocked out of the mech. Shatter comes down, finds the two. And that is just going to be the kills picked up rather easily here for the side of KongDoo Panthera.
KongDoo Panthera is just playing this textbook, just like we've seen it so many times. If they get the stagger here on Bumper, it'd be huge.
And they're looking for it. The K is going to get zapped down. Actually, the pocket was available from Slime, so he keeps Bumper sustained.
Yeah, this is actually
going
nice.
over into the side room as that cart gets brought up. Charge not going to hit anything here for Aurora. Now he's going to be the one going down as Twilight finds the kill. Res going to be used onto the K, so now they don't have that Reinhardt to sit behind.
That was actually really huge too, because they knew the Bumper would get the Primal if he was saved there, and they had the res. None of these things necessary now.
Jumps down, Seismic Slam in, looking for Ding. They will be able to get him. The follow-up comes through from Bumper. They get that elimination. Now Primal Rage comes down. Haksal going to get locked up, going to get eliminated before he can use the Meteor Strike. Cart 0.6 meters away. Graviton Surge comes down. The healer's going to get locked up, but Twilight has that Transcendence to keep he and Slime alive. Will be able to survive as Stitch pops up onto the high ground trying to find that hit onto Koma, but he can't quite get it. Or Shredder out from Roar, but no follow-up kills to be found. Charge comes down, gets Janu, pins him into the wall. We'll have that mech break. Looking for the Baby Diva. Self-destruct going to be used. Janu going to make it back in.
Okay, KongDoo's starting to get re-control of this point. We see the Meteor Strike used to buy time.
Oh, dropped it right on top of him. Haksal says, hey, what's up, guys? Finds the K and Ding, opens things right back up for Runaway. Koma gonna fall. It's Luffy all on his lonesome as a support alongside Youngjin, who will find a kill onto Haksal again, but now he's here alone, and the cart should just roll through.
Yeah, the cart's gonna roll through. The Doomfist there guarantees you the capture in a lot of ways, because KongDoo Panthera, if they try to split to avoid the Meteor Strike, then they just die. If they avoid, then they just get the completion. If you don't split, then you die. So, you know, it's just kind of basically Haksal saying, well, I want a few seconds extra time back. I am going to use this ultimate, and you're going to die to it, because if you step off, we get the capture anyways. So, lose-lose there for Panthera.
For a little bit more. Oh, Stitch is going to get taken down. Luffy throws him a curveball. Roar charges into the back, but Haksal is right on his rear, as words are hard. Primal Rage here from Bumper. Tries to get back in, but the doorway's just a little bit too small for the big Winston, so misses that hit. Can't chase forward onto the supports.
Haksal just building for another Meteor Strike, gets that blow up on the Ding.
The alley-oop as he leaps forward. Now push forward onto the cart for KongDoo as they try to regain control, but Roar has to exit as the Discord Orb comes down. Meteor Strike looking for a pick-off, looking for the Mercy. Koma gonna go low. Rocket punch in, finds the hit, can't take him down, but finally does manage to get him. Koma and Luffy both gonna be eliminated. Just charges over, finds Roar, hits him with the uppercut, knocks him out.
I've seen a lot of Haksal's Doomfists over the course of Korean Overwatch history, and it's coming up big tonight. Now they've secured B, 3:36 on the clock. They get the stagger kills. This should guarantee Stitch control of the high ground. There's almost no way that that could be denied. KongDoo Panthera are not going to swap to their own Widow defensively, because they know line of sight has already been given to Stitch. They're going to look for this tank comp to do well, but it could backfire big time if these ults don't come up big, especially for Decay, who has it now. They have the combo.
Waiting for the call.
Such a smart move here by Haksal.
Should be told that they have that Mercy up there. Body tag onto Koma. He goes so low.
Baiting with Stitch so that he gets an opportunity.
Graviton Surge set to go here from Decay. The DPS duo come up with kills as Luffy and Ding both going to be eliminated. Where it's going to be used by Coma. In onto the Hanzo. So dangerously low is Roar as he tries to stay alive. The Dragon Strike, however, from Ding is going to alleviate that pressure because he comes up with a triple kill, make it a quad. And Stitch will also go down.
Kills
Get the
Janu
killing
as
blow
well.
onto, yeah, he gets a killing blow onto Janu after they pop him out of the mech.
I mean, that was really well played by KongDoo Panthera, but again,
40% already.
they had to use all their ultimates. But the most important part, and why it's worth it, is because Stitch doesn't have full line of sight. He's going to have to use his infra sight to gain some information here about where he wants to flank. You can see how far back he is right now. Bumper looking to counter the supports if we see a charge from Roar. He's been using those very liberally.
Pop over the top. There is an Earth Shatter ready to go. The bubble's going to be dropped already. Roar actually does drop the hammer off screen. Doesn't look like he comes up with anything, and Stitch finds Coma. Janu going to get taken out of the mech. Ding finds Hawksaw. Stitch keeps sniping away. Twilight finds another one. Pops that Transcendence to keep everybody else topped up over here by the cart. They have to kite their way back. Stitch goes up onto the high ground yet again. Graviton Surge set from Decay, but he can just hold this because they are maintaining control for the moment.
That was really well played by Roar. He didn't get the Shatter to really do much, but his barrier placement there and the Ding follow-up damage allowed Stitch to do nothing. You know, he was prevented from doing anything. That's what I should have said there. As KongDoo Panthera burned through more of this time bank. Another kill into Stitch, this time with the Hanzo.
Yep.
And Bumper's jump up here isn't going to accomplish anything. I don't think he's really going to commit to this, although I'm wrong.
Dragon
Here he
Strike
goes.
over onto the high ground with the Graviton Surge. They find the kill onto Janu and Slime. And that is just going to be more time bought.
I mean,
Ding
sure.
with this Hanzo is being so instrumental to the success of this defense from KongDoo Panthera.
Oh, now they're going to stagger further, but you know, that wasn't required to get the defense. But he's building these so quickly that basically why the hell not use it in this situation when you have the combo available? It's your only time you're going to have a guaranteed grab because you know where they're all standing because you have the Sonic Arrow for vision. So wasteful in some senses, but it does burn through so much of RunAway's time bank here. Hawksall's holding again another Meteor Strike. And this time KongDoo Panthera does not have the ultimates to shut down the push. Stitch should be able to get onto that high ground. In fact, he will.
Roar rejoins with his squad. Hawksall goes forward to try to disrupt them. Has that Meteor Strike ready. Jin is on his tail, trying to track him down. His Bumper pushes up around the corner, just trying to build up for another primal range. The Shatter is set. Roar looking for the opportunity. She's going to drop it. Finds one, pin in onto Janu, taking that mech low, and it will take him out of it. Twilight also eliminated on the back, and that is just going to be the exit for the rest of RunAway. Cannot play forward. It's 25 seconds remaining as they try to complete this final stretch of Gibraltar.
I don't know what Hawksall is going to switch to. It's going to be the Pharah to try to circumvent Roar on this Reinhardt, but it's going to be a risky call. There is no way to shut down a Pharah, technically speaking, on the side of KongDoo Panthera, but getting into position is going to be the hardest challenge, but now they're going to have even further problems with Ding on the Hanzo. Stitch actually going to try to counter him as well with a McCree swap, but it's so risky here at this late stage. 2 seconds to go. Cart is tagged.
Couple hits in. Dragon Strike might just be able to push them all off of it. As the body shot comes in on a Hawksall, can't get the execution.
Grab.
Drops down, grab comes in. It's just Twilight by himself. Has that Transcendence up to try to stay alive. But 3 members going to be popped out. Now Twilight dead. RunAway bleeding out on this final stretch. Primal Rage going to be used by Bumper. He's got to tag the cart. He's just not going to be able to do it. They get held here. They make it decently far on Gibraltar. But again, it's not that convincing of a performance from RunAway on their map pick.
Yeah, not that convincing indeed. The opening was great. You know, they were able to, in that one moment of disruption where Panthera held them so hard for the first few pushes with Ding's Hanzo, but after that, when there was that one moment of disruption, Hawksall has the Meteor Strike. He shoves through on B, because again, they have to stack up on it to make sure the completion doesn't happen. Gets that double kill there. But after that, even though Stitch had line of sight advantage from the beginning, was on that high ground, Ding just came up big. He got the solo kill on the Stitch 1v1, damaged him significantly other times, helped burst down the tanks. And Bumper, unfortunately, on the Winston, couldn't do very much because he was just constantly being pegged by storm arrows. And now, you know, this is an opportunity for KongDoo to just roll through and take the lead for the first time in this series. It's easier said than done. But again, I think this is going to be attack Hanzo. This is going to be a Hanzo-heavy comp. As I say that, Ding shows the Genji for now. And as you can see how different these two teams operate. They both operate on long-range damage on the defense, protect the long-range sniper. In the case of Panthera, it was the Hanzo who looked to burst down the tanks who dove him. In Stitch's case, it's more mobility and actually more pierce damage on headshots, for example, with this Widow. What Stitch cannot do that Ding was able to do with the Hanzo is burst down tanks. It is possible, theoretically, if you hit multiple headshots, but you're never going to do the same damage output that a Hanzo does with Storm Arrow. However, you have more survivability, you have an escape. Sox will just toss up another boost there, presumably for Twilight. And it switches back to this Brigida. Janu scouts the comp. Ding will be on the Doomfist, and it's maybe a Hanzo swap now? Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. As Youngjin will look for hooks.
Nothing yet, but just given a lot of space to work with. RunAway playing back. Sad there's no Torbjorn.
Haksal, after seeing this comp, switches back over to the Genji. Yeah, I'm sad too. But Youngjin's going to make the swap over to Genji to match him. This is going to be a 1v1 that's going to be great to watch.
A lot of swapping coming through. Push forward, getting ready to round the corner. The barrier takes a lot of damage, or it gets tagged up a bit as he kites in. Playing into the side room for the moment. Ding gonna get taken down. Bumper goes up top, manages to finish him off. Yeah, he'll be rejoining with the rest of the squad.
Very well played by RunAway.
They can get an isolation here on Aurora. He's by himself over by the cart. Orb of Harmony's in onto him. They offer up the Zarya bubble, but it's not gonna be enough. Janu just runs him over. Now looking for the Mercy.
The composition.
They get Koma, they get Youngjin.
The composition that Panthera is running is not a meta comp because you can't protect your two DPSs, which are doing two different things at two different places with a comp that has tanks that are immobile. So they're going to swap Youngjin back to the Roadhog, but the indecision here from Panthera and the comp they built that had no theme cost them a lot of time. RunAway just splits them apart and crushes them and punishes Roar for his aggressive positioning when they have backlines that need to be supported. Now he's up on the high ground here. Good start. Ding has opportunities to break those tanks now. But they drop back down, pushing around the corner here. Stitch has a huge opportunity to get a line of sight now.
Yep, they're trying to work it in. They make it around that final corner. As both Mercies go low and Stitch finds Koma. Now Ding goes down. The opening kill's going to be found. RunAway looking to halt this cart yet again. Seems like they should be able to do so as they dive onto the side. Roar going to be falling low, going to be falling down because Haksal is just cleaning up house.
Decay
Tank's going to go down. RunAway. Nearly 6 ult slime can build up for a Valkyrie very rapidly, but they have the other 5 set and ready to go.
Decay's got a grab, but it won't matter if they can't either demech Janu or stun him with a huge shatter. They can hook him out of position to block it as well with Youngjin, but the grab is everything for Panthera, and RunAway has so many ways to shut it down. Deflection could even be one, as Haksal is still on this Genji.
True.
Just looking for that angle.
For us. Decay wrapping around the side, looking to go back onto the low ground to get towards the cart, but Haksal again with this Genji pick. This guy has woken up.
RunAway
up with 2 more kills, both supports eliminated.
RunAway has so much mobility, and when Panthera is operating just on a grab and Decay is flanking, it means he's not peeling. And if he's not peeling, then Haksal can go wherever he wants. He can fly around the map, do massive damage, and that's exactly what he did there. Gets those dash reset kills. Panthera still holds ultimate, still hold the tools, but they're going to have to stick together as a 6-man unit, and that's why they switched to the Lucio for speed boost here to get into position, because Decay just can't be split off, or they're going to get killed when he is cut off. Janu's the first target here. They want to stop that D-Matrix. He's swinging around the right side.
Sticks over onto the side. Janu playing forward. Shatter comes in. Now it's going to be the grab, pinning him into the wall. The Dragon Strike rolls through. Youngjin finding 2 with the whole hog. RunAway trying to make their way back into the back here is Janu. Manages to do so, stays alive. He's the sole tank right now for RunAway. Twilight gonna get taken out. Janu popped out of the mech again, and now Slime gonna die to the Fire Strike. Seems like the completion just a few moments away as that swing comes down. So 2:55 on the clock for KongDoo Panthera. A great start on that defense for RunAway, but they need to make sure that they hold them here in the hangar, because if they make it through, it's not very far to go to get the win.
Certainly true. That swamp from Koma onto Lucio is what made all of this possible. The speed boost to get into position. The shatter, as I mentioned, to knock Janu down, then grab. The combo was perfectly coordinated from KongDoo Panthera. We haven't seen them this coordinated since Apex Season 3. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Luffy's going to make an odd swap, actually, to the Moira here, just for more sustained healing to make this comp tougher to deal with.
Blade coming down, Haksal looking for the hits. He's going to get hooked in. The pin comes down, and Roar shuts him out. Been great Genji play overall from Haksal leading up to this moment. And as soon as we see that blade come down, he just can't do anything. RunAway getting stomped out. Slime going to go down. Extra stagger coming through, and Haksal going to abandon the Genji. Swaps over back to the Doomfist.
How can you not get hype, those at home, about the coordination that we are seeing in Panthera tonight? They are just doing step by step everything you
Rage
do.
Coming down, barely manages to try to get that halt here onto the cart, but it just does not happen. Just a little bit too late was Bumper. And now they lose the ultimate on the Winston.
Everything is a step-by-step process to defeating RunAway here. Charge coming through for Roar. They're spawn camping him now.
Pushing through, they're looking for the knockoffs here with the whole hog. Push that one out. Twilight with the Transcendence trying to keep everybody alive. Will be able to do so as they move back up over onto the corner. Hoxall finds the hit on the Roar, takes down the enemy Rhine as they push them back over towards the gate.
Now, they built a lot of ultimates with that. I know everyone at home is probably thinking, well, that was a bit crazy. Yeah, that was a bit overzealous. But that was to build all those ults.
Oh, okay.
Just wants the remake. They want this to be the push right now.
Comes that down. Slime
grab.
trying to escape. The grab comes down, and they manage to find the kills. Both supports and Stitch now going to be dead. Janu very far forward, but he's all on his lonesome. Will get popped out of this mech, and they could just leave him to his own devices, but they will go ahead and kill him off. But they just have to round this corner. That's effectively it.
Oh,
that would be a lead
Bumper
coming in. Youngjin still going to be alive. They get the kill on the Bumper. RunAway. Things not looking good for them. They have to hold this off for 2:23.
We need to see a big bio grenade. I think that's the best shot at this.
Hoxall's dead. He was playing alone. Cart 4.2 meters away. Still inching forward. Self-destruct going to be thrown down. Janu not going to be able to make it back into the mech. Stitch playing forward, trying desperately to get to that Graviton Surge. Shatter comes down. Bumper is going to die. Stitch gets the grab, tosses it in. As they try to get
Slime's
this fight.
still alive somehow!
Is hit onto the cart, the Meteor Strike coming down. You gotta rejoin immediately here, Hoxall. He drops back in, gets a little bit of shielding. The sound barrier comes out from Slime. Pin looking to be found here by Roar. Not gonna get anybody. Falls low, but gets sustained back up to K. Nearly with another Graviton Surge of his own. Now there's no D.Va to worry about, but it doesn't need it. He doesn't have to pop it. It's just gonna be the win. KongDoo Panthera take a lead in the series 2-1.
Every single grab from Decay was so calculated. Janu was out of position for the second to last one there, of course, at the end. They knew how RunAway was playing with their tank line, and Janu was being aggressive. He was getting ult charge. He was building that from going up to the high ground. He did that one too many times. He was caught, had to go into the room there, where he was, of course, right afterwards, pocketed to keep alive. He got his health pack, the mega pack there. But when he was out of position in that one moment, KongDoo Panthera, they went for the grab. Slime lived seemingly forever in that moment, but he did eventually fall. KongDoo Panthera lost no one in the fight. But it's moments like these that remind you that Panthera made this comp meta in Korea. They know how to play it so well. Everyone's always been impressed with how many grabs Decay is able to get off, but it's not his personal skill that's above all. It's the coordination that KongDoo Panthera is showing here. It's a step-by-step thing. Isolate Janu. Build the grab, isolate Janu, toss the grab, find the follow-up damage, collapse onto Janu, who was caught in a bad place, or demeched. As you can see, the Hanzo burst there is what did it for them on the opening defense there. But they shut RunAway down from getting to that C. Even the coach knows how viable Storm Arrow is on this map. As Roar is coming up big, he's playing very aggressively. More aggressive than Bumper even on the Reinhardt, but when the supports are there, and he's able to build these grabs and make sure that every grab counts, it works. Even if he looks silly, charging forward and dying and building these shatters, and sometimes dying alone, if the grabs are every single time going to be this impactful because they're playing around Janu so well, then it's worth it for him to buy space, to allow Decay to just get in there and Zarya zap people to get a grab, follow up with the attack. The remake there as well, for that we saw at the last second from Ding, is just another one of these moments where at first glance it looks like, what a waste of the self-destruct. Like, they have still a little bit of time. Yeah. But they knew that was their moment because they knew Janu was there. So he's like, I'm going to remake because this is the fight. And everyone's communicating so well. It's just, it's a beauty to watch. This is such a great finals.
Yeah, wonderful so far. I mean, still could go all the way to the end. You know, get those 7 maps and see who can take the victory here overall. But, I mean, 2-1. This is going to be KongDoo leading the charge now. RunAway with another map pick. As we get ready to flip back over to Control. They very handedly took the win on Lijiang Tower at the start of this series. If they can recreate that success on Control again, that'll put them in a nice position, get the tie up there for the 2-2.
Yeah. So, very tense now with Control and Hybrid, the next 2 map types. It is still possible that we will see that 7th game, but only if Hybrid is a draw. Otherwise, you know, series will end after game 6. So very much a tense moment now if you're a RunAway fan, because the wind is out of their sails. They got shut down hard there. Hoxall's Doomfist was very impactful at a few times there, especially when he was able to secure B with his his ultimate there, the Meteor Strike. But otherwise, Stitch couldn't get line of sight. The tank composition for Panthera that they ran all season long comes up big because their coordination to eliminate Janu from being a factor is so well done. You know, one of the big questions we had going into this finals was going to be, how does Sombra affect all of this? What about Wrecking Ball? You know, and those are the big two changes that have been relevant overseas and North America, Europe. However, in this finals, with the exception of RunAway's Wrecking Ball attempted defense on Eichenwald, they haven't really been a factor, and that's why I think Panthera is coming into their own here. This was the sick play with the barrier there to counter this fight. That was insane by Slime there.
Great double. Coming out of Stitch. I mean, there's some fantastic setups here for RunAway on Eichenwald. Things were looking so damn good, but it all unraveled with that OT push from KongDoo. You know, 1.8 second finish on the first go, and then they work it almost to point B in overtime after a late cap on A. So KongDoo just have the answer. In those dire moments, it just seems like they're able to kind of get that X factor popped, and then they can come out with a win. RunAway haven't really shown it to us yet today. The Anubis defense was fantastic. That was a moment of it for RunAway. But now with the loss on Gibraltar, they're operating on the back foot. They still, you know, need to try to swing this back into their favor, tie things up, make it a 2-2 with their pick on control.
Yeah. If they do, like I mentioned, the only way we go to 7 is hybrid for tie. Otherwise, we may go to a game 8 with a 3-3 score line after 7 is completed, which we would go to a third control map. Well, that's only with that 3-3 scenario. But that's a rare case. So here's the tie. Now let's watch how Ding dismantles tanks. That was the solo kill there. Okay, I guess we're not going to watch more of that. Roar playing very aggressively, comes up big with the Shatters. This is where everyone had to stay here, even though Huxel was going to Meteor Strike them, because otherwise the point gets captured. Some great moments here for Huxel overall, but when it came to C, it was owned by Panthera, both on the attack and on the defense by Ding, setting up all these big plays. Great hook here. The charge, it's just the coordination that Panthera is showing is at the highest level. I mean, it's
been great.
Yeah, it's coming up so big in every way. And it's not to say that RunAway is not, but it feels like RunAway is, as they've always been known for, winning their maps on mechanics alone. And the more complex defenses, the more complex hooks, the combos, these setups to isolate Janu and make a grab worth more. Does it mean that Decay is that much better of a Zarya player than Stitch? Not really. But it does mean that KongDoo Panthera is playing around Decay Zarya better than RunAway has for Stitch, and that's why we're seeing these come up big. Oasis will be our second control map.
Okay.
As we head into this one, this is a map that I think will be very much dominated by that Reinhardt play. We will see Stitch and Youngjin probably on the McCree.
Yeah.
And then we will see Pharah as well as we head to the more open sections, I should say, of Oasis. We have seen Pharah attempted with Widow Pharah and McCree on University as well, but it's much rarer in recent times.
Yeah, has fallen off a bit. Seeing the Pharah in that more indoor style map, but you never know. But RunAway choosing Oasis. Can they tie us up? Can they make this 2-2 and give us another very competitive Korean Overwatch finals? Need to make up for Season 1. Well, let's see if RunAway can deliver on that as we go ahead and dive in.
This map is a map where I think Wrecking Ball has a lot of potential once he is mastered, but I don't know in a week's time how much scrimming they have had with this. Bumper highlights it now, which is why I mentioned this. It's normally played in other regions as main tank. The only time we saw it this so far here in Korea was played by Janu as a sub-tank for disruption against Panthera's comps. You can use the grapple, the hook, to swing around and do a lot in the center of this map. It's very difficult to play around that. You can disrupt a lot, and despite the fact that it, I think, could have been viable, it's just too risky. It's not that figured out yet in Korea, and we will see the traditional GOATs mirror here.
Yeah, you're down right now, so need to take every precaution necessary to try to find success. So RunAway not going to be attempting the wrecking ball, the Hammond, whichever side of the fence you're on for that. Shots coming through as both teams just going to be cutting around the side here. It's going to be Roar finding the first hit. Oxall going to get taken down by the charge, and now KongDoo Panthera just spill forward. Find another kill there onto Bumper, follow up onto Slime, and that will be the first cap going their way.
You know, I think we can make an argument that Roar has played the riskier Reinhardt, but he's come up with a lot more in terms of charge kills and ult charge throughout this series so far.
His percentage is massive right now. He's at 80% compared to the 33 of Bumper.
I mean, Bumper got zoned out after you lose a member like that. You can't go in, so you're just destined to be behind in charge. Roar, he's going to turn this into another advantage. Charges in first.
Looking for another pin, not going to find it, but still going to be sustained. They spam him back up, and the Shatter is ready. Throws it straight to the shield, however. A massive whiff from him, and that could be costly. RunAway still struggling to push their way through. The Coalescence is going to be exchanged on both sides. His teammates fall dangerously low. Now a rally topped on with it here from Oxall. That Surge going to be coming down. Decay tosses that one in, but no one is going to die. RunAway all staying alive, still trying to work their way over onto the point. Stitch charging forward, nearly has a grab ready to go. Shatter comes down from Bumper, finds the one hit there on Nakoma, but not going to be able to follow up for the kill. Charges his way back out, sticking with his team, trying to stay alive. Pinned in with the Graviton Surge, comes down. Bumper gonna get charged, gonna get killed, RunAway not able to pick anything up, and KongDoo Panthera are maintaining control.
It looks like the players of RunAway are on all different pages here. I think the reason why Bumper went for that solo Shatter onto Coma, because he knew that Stitch wanted to go for a follow-up grab. He knew Sound Barrier could maybe shut that down. He didn't know if it was ready. It was not. It's available now. But the communication is just not always there here for big plays like this, unfortunately. Now Roar has another Shatter. He's going to look for a bigger one this time.
Make up for lost time. Yes, he can. Knocks him down, gets the pin in on the Agenda, but the Sound Barrier comes down from RunAway, trying to keep everybody sustained. Graviton Surge in. Barrier out from KongDoo Panthera, and they will be winning the fight. Stomping them down. Stitch is going to die. Bumper is going to be staggered here. Gets taken down. Team Wipe comes through. It's 83% already for KongDoo. They still have another Shatter. They have that rally as well.
KongDoo Panthera is just not going to give RunAway a fight on the point. They're going to fight him either outside here to force their ultimates away from the point, or a big Shatter outside.
Tosses it down, finds one. Twilight going to get knocked to the ground. Manages to stay alive, baits away, but Hawkstall going to be eliminated. Self-destruct from John, who finds two.
The bigger
they have
bang.
to get in onto the point. They're getting the back cap at the moment here as it enters into 99%. OT ticks in. RunAway nearly get the flip. Bumper finds two with a fire strike. John, who gets the final kill there on the Decay. And maybe it's a 99% curse for KongDoo this time. The flip comes in.
Panthera looked for the fight out there with the Shatter outside because they knew that if RunAway fought them on the point, that was their best chance to lose it. And even still, RunAway comes up big there with the bigger bang combo. Janu does it again, gets another big explosion. KongDoo Panthera now finds themselves on the outside, never where you want to be. Rally and speed boost to approach.
Bumper pushing forward, looking to build up for another Earth Shatter here. Roar, he has his on the way, 65% at the moment. Oxall takes a hit, throws out for the boop. Not going to get much of a connection. 30%, a long way to go here for RunAway. As we see the Graviton Surge come through, Twilight going to pop the Coalescence, trying to keep everybody alive, and so far it's working a treat, but the Self-Destruct thing gets rid of Slime, and they don't have that extra sustained healing. Answering Graviton Surge going to be tossed out by Stitch. Bumper going to go down. Now two members, Janu trying to tank up, trying to be the beefy member here for the side of RunAway, as that Self-Destruct, if he needs to make his way back into the mech, but with Coma going down and Ding popped out of the mech, they might just be able to hold this off and wait for Bumper to return here.
Oh, on
Seems like
Oxall.
that's going to be the case.
Oxall, unkillable, gets the stuns, gets the heals. He's just so great in this moment. Makes everybody stay alive, does the sustained healing through damage there, gets the rally, pops the armor, and now advantage RunAway here, as they're the ones gatekeeping the point. Will Decay be able to find a coordinated grab? He's found so many, especially on Gibraltar, but this is his moment to try to flank it. I don't know if they see him.
Barrier is nearly up on both sides. He's going to come in from the side, but he doesn't get anything. Janu gets it. Defense Matrix denying it away. KongDoo Panthera, they lose. They're ace in the hole. Sound Barrier is going to be out from both sides as they charge in, trying to regain control over the point. Bumper swinging away, looking wildly for that Shatter. As it now available, looks for the charge. They're going to hit each other, both getting knocked to the ground. Zarya's shield in, however, helping to save Roar's life. He'll get pushed back up. Full HP for him. Youngjin going to die. Lumpy falling low, gets hounded down. They find the kill. Stitch picking up the killing blow. Charge comes in, not going to find the hit. Bumper dangerously low, but they sustain it back up. The overpacks come through. Now it's 99 to 99 for the kills. They're coming in for the side of RunAway. They're turning this ship around, and they're going to be looking to get the win here on City Center.
Looks like that is what is going to happen. Coma going to touch in, but dies, and
Absolute
that is
insanity. Janu saving their lives. Defense Matrix consumes the Graviton Surge.
And in that moment, it's hard to say whether it was intentional or not. He was facing a different direction. He was slightly angled, and I mean slightly, towards Decay there.
That flick of the wrist.
But, you know, he gets the eat on the Graviton. Decay, their entire attack plan was to flank there and get the grab from behind, where Janu wasn't paying attention. That's why, again, they play around him so well. They make these happen. It goes into the defense matrix. It's eaten, and then all RunAway has to do is to trade up on ultimates, and that's exactly what they do. We're going to see, interestingly enough, a McCree-less University here. Very odd given the recent changes to McCree, but let's see how RunAway pans this one out. It's going to be Diva-less for Panthera. Again, just like Lijiang Tower, they put Ding on the bar to try to circumvent the Reinhardt. But there's so much sustained healing on the other side with the Lucio Moira that it's tough to get kills. It's basically barrage-based, what Panthera is trying to run. Did not work last time they tried it.
Right now.
You can see no one can even be hit by the rockets right now.
Sitting back, barrier comes up to help escort them. Defense Matrix denying the rest of it away. So Ding not going to be building up for too much here. It's a smattering of damage, but overall we'll be fine, and Bumper's going to be the first one to go down. Yoongjin coming up with that killing blow as he tries to get the rally online.
Gets a huge armor pack onto Ding as well, so he survives. Very close call.
Trade backs coming through. Hawksall manages to find Aurora, but he will get taken down. Yoongjin gets another kill. The cap's nearly here for RunAway, but KongDoo Panthera start posturing forward.
No one can kill Ding now.
Yeah, he is. He's completely unhindered right now, so he is going to be fine.
In trades like that, that's when the bar really blows them up, because there's just not enough sustained healing in that moment. You're uncontested as the bar. The tanks can stay alive for almost a limited amount of time, and that's when you eventually wear them down and get the capture. So ult advantage goes to Roar and Decay in those longer fights there.
Shatter nearly ready, now has him. Off the back of the fire strike, Bumper's gonna die. Charge comes through, Ding popping the barrage. Help knock Janu out of that mech, will get taken down. Oxall finds one, RunAway. The fight might just have to be abandoned here. Still a bit of a bouncy castle here, everyone getting knocked around to the side room, but KongDoo Panthera maintaining control, and they have multiple ultimates online.
Oxall was showing some good patience here and some just honestly good understanding of the game with his ability to hold on to the rally. He's going to use it now for the better fight.
Set, pins it straight into the doorway.
Here's the charge
through. It's answered by Bumper, I believe. Trying to halt him in his tracks. The kites his way out, and no one on RunAway will die. Didn't even have to use a sound barrier. It wasn't available. Now it is. They're going to toss it out immediately. Janu going to get taken out of that mech. It would seem dangerously low. He's got a sliver of HP, but he's actually still in it for the moment. Earthshatter comes down, solo in onto Youngjin. They take him out to the barrage above from Ding. Gets rid of Bumper. Now Janu going to be eliminated. Doesn't get an opportunity to use that self-destruct. 63% here for KongDoo Panthera, and they maintain control against all of it.
And unfortunately for Stitch, that grab was not the one they wanted. No flip comes through. Now, no grab. They're going to make the swap over to Winston here because they're just struggling so much to get on the point. They need mobility more than anything else.
McCree.
Yep, there's the McCree. We were talking about it so much. Bumper's just going to use his cooldown here real quick. It's going to be set up for a big push. Breaking these walls so his teammates can rejoin faster. Decay's going to grab.
How hungry are you? Can you eat another one?
Tough to say.
Grab set ready to go. Could just pin it straight onto the sign here.
Look at John, who's out of position. This is an opportunity.
Wraps around the side. Trying to work their way in. Grab's still going to be held here for the moment. 100 energy for Decay. They push forward. Stitch just does not stand a chance. Luffy answers one back, finds Roar as Bumper tags the point to force the OT, but this time I don't think RunAway's going to be able to get the flip. There's still 3 members dead as they try to make their way back in onto the point. Janu drops the self-destruct. Youngjin puts up his shield, keeps himself safe. Janu going to remech. Nearly half the flip here. Do RunAway, but now it's Janu all on its lonesome versus Decay. A massive energy Zarya. And he'll just get burned down, gets eliminated out of the mech, gets taken out. Tag back in, RunAway just trying to string this one together. Stun in onto the Brigida, but they can't get onto the point. 100-0 after the 199 KongDoo. They tie it up on Oasis.
That they do. And when you look at how that was played there, Stitch, sure, he used his grab incorrectly, but even with a grab, I don't know if he would have been able to use it. You could see, again, how Janu was forced to play. He was out of position, and then everyone on RunAway stayed back, was like, oh, well, we're going to get grabbed if we get stuck here. They just burned Stitch down. He died. Janu got onto the point, nearly got the flip. He survived, but he had to play so far away from everyone else because if he gets burned down, then the grab's going to be big. They know Stitch didn't have one. And it's just all about, can Janu stop Decay from blowing everybody up? And the answer has mostly been no for these last 2 maps. Now we're going to see the most flexible map, of course, with Decay and Youngjin still running their similar comp with Ding on the Pharah, but RunAway running the Stitch McCree. If he can get on the high ground, he can do a lot with this. He does find an angle for now. It's all about protecting him and making sure that he can do consistent damage.
Hello, Janu. You're by yourself, bud. Well, he gets taken down. That's a really great start for KongDoo.
Janu is not having the series of his life tonight.
Yep.
He's playing aggressively alone and getting punished, and that's causing them a lot of problems.
Ding just trying to poke over the top, has the Reinhardt playing forward. That's going to occupy the sights of Stitch.
Oh, great concussive blast there.
Boops him in. Mash their way back out, but Bumper, same cannot be said for him. He goes in a bit too deep. Stitch finds one, his Coma will fall. So now no res, but Stitch gets taken down. Youngjin finds him with a shield bash. KongDoo Panthera looking great as the Fire Strike takes out Slime.
KongDoo Panthera in prime position now to continue to hold this. Decay didn't build that many ult charge percentages through that fight because he wasn't able to really be involved as running was halted so early, but you can see the signs of indecision here as Stitch and Haksal make several swaps. Will be the Pharah and the Widow that they stick with here in the end. This is very difficult to get a Widow into line of sight against this many shields. Oh. And Haxal's already dead.
Yep, gets another
Slime
hit.
will follow.
He's looking for Slime. That's going to be the pharmacy completely dismantled. Ding comes up huge. That is so much time fought for them, so much percentage gained. Or goes low in the front line, but is still just getting topped back up. Coma immediately joins in with a pocket.
This is going to build so much of Coma's ult percentage as well in moments like this. This is a trade you want to take as the Rhine, who has positional advantage. They don't have the tank ultimates yet, but it's just not necessary.
Looking for the shield bash.
They get
the
Bumper,
pin, but doesn't matter. The
He's
Fire
alone.
Strike takes him down. Bumper's just playing on the side by himself.
RunAway is, I think their mentality may be broken right now. We're seeing too many individual attempted plays get shut down by the one unit that is KongDoo Panthera. KongDoo Panthera looks like a fist. RunAway looks like 6 fingers. And KongDoo is just smashing them every time they step over the line.
That again. Slime again under duress. Takes another shot. The Fire Strikes from Roar have just been so on point. Now Stitch eliminated. We're at 82%. KongDoo Panthera, they're just going to pop the rally to get the extra armor here. Otherwise, it's going to be the other 5 ultimates online momentarily.
What can RunAway hope to accomplish now with no tools, nothing in their war chest? Shatter misses.
Okay.
It's a good
That's
start.
one. They need an eat on a Graviton Surge.
Bumper's alone. Bumper's alone.
Yeah, he's in the back. They get the charge through here. Tag in, they get the OT. Graviton's ready to go. Just holding this one. Twilight pops a Transcendence, and no one gets in onto the point. They dump this self-destruct ultimate, and KongDoo, they're going to move the match point because of that.
Bumper was out of position only because he had to be in order to start overtime. But when you're in a situation like that, like what can you hope to accomplish against the strongest comp in the meta in Korea? You have no ultimate to speak of. They have all of them. And even after the shatter misses, you've got to go onto the point. That's why they shattered. If Bumper gets hit by that shatter, GG, because he can't get onto the point. He's the only one that can. You want to use Bumper instead of Janu, because if Janu tries to get on the point and dies, then Grab is more effective. You have to keep the Diva alive. There's all these things that you're thinking about as RunAway, but there's no win. There's no win in that situation. You are dead to rights. There's nothing you can do. And KongDoo Panthera just plays it safe. Even though the shatter doesn't connect, it was still an intelligent one. And Bumper dies alone, and RunAway may die with him if they end up losing our second map of Hybrid. They started off with a much better win rate, the 11-2. They lost on Eichenwald. Now they will pick their first Hybrid map of this best of 7. The question becomes how well will they play it? King's Row is the risky pick. It's the map that you might want to go to because I think in some ways when RunAway is coordinated tonight, especially when we saw Lijiang, they played a lot of ways the better tank line than Panthera, which is crazy to say.
Yeah.
However, as the match goes on, this team of newer players, it's not the original Panthera that made Apex Season 3 Finals. 5 of these players playing in their first Grand Finals against a huge crowd that's cheering against them. They're the ones who are staying composed. They're the ones who are making the coordinated plays, and RunAway is falling apart at the seams. It's unfortunate to say, but this doesn't look good for RunAway at all. I mean, they're just not able to make the plays that they started the series with.
Or you can see Haksal, they're getting consoled by the coach at the moment. You know, arm around him, bent down, whispering into his ear, just trying to get him focused back on the game, tell him it's okay. We can still come back from this. But this is a really dangerous position to be in. We're all, you know, KongDoo Panthera. They just need one more win. Yeah. That's it. They got Eichenwald, they got Gibraltar. Now they've got Oasis. One more map win, and they will be our Season 2 champions. RunAway, can they bounce back? Can they take us to that 7th game? We're going to find out when we come back from the break.